The Indiana Pacers are one win away from the NBA Finals after beating the Knicks last night behind Tyrese Halliburton's triple-double and no turnovers. Game 5 tomorrow night in New York. Tonight is Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. The Timberwolves face a must-win game in Oklahoma City, trailing the Thunder 3-1. Tip-off set for 7:30. You can catch the game right here on San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 7 o'clock.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagle.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And you know what day it is.
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump, hump, hump day!
Hump day!
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, you haven't even hit the 5-hour energy yet.
How about that? I'm ready to roll today, man. It's a great day. It's Wednesday. I like Wednesdays. Hump day!
Hump day!
It's a great day, and we got a lot to talk about today. By the way, this is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. That's Jason Minix, and he's happy too. Even Minix is smiling today.
You know, not really. I've had a really crappy day. I start with a cold shower.
Wait a minute. What?
A cold shower.
The wife said no again, or what?
No. We were trying to conserve water and do that together. No, she gets up far earlier than I do and said, hot water was taking forever. And then I realized the hot water heater is just out. That sucks.
That sucks. Yes.
Yeah, and I tried to see if I could figure out how to relight the pilot, following all the instructions. That ain't it.
No.
So quarter moon is on the way.
All right.
And then I go to lunch, and I'm driving. It's like 12:15, 12:10, whatever. Stop at the Subway over by the radio station, and I'm in line. It's packed, and the lady right in front of me, she gets up there, and there's 4 or 5 people behind me. She pulls out a sheet of paper, and she proceeded to order 17 different sandwiches.
17.
17. I had plenty of time to count. Now, I don't know what the Rolex is. You think, all right, well, screw this. But by the time you get in your car and drive somewhere else, is it really going to save you any time other than you're not behind somebody getting 17 different sandwiches?
That lady lost a bet. She had to have lost a bet. Who the hell goes and gets 17 sandwiches?
I mean, if you're buying for the office, I mean, I saw her name badge, and, where she works in a medical, I'm sure I'll go get lunch. Order that online.
Dude.
Do something. Don't go right at noon if you're getting 17, and it's Subway. So every sandwich is a little bit different, and I saw her sheet of paper, and she kept apologizing to everybody behind her because nobody was thrilled. And you almost feel bad for her. It's like, not your fault. I mean, you're the one that got stuck going to get 17 sandwiches. But everybody kind of wrote down with all their, pledges, said no onions, and Minix said no tomatoes, and, all the particulars on all 17 sandwiches.
Dude, I'm not doing that. I don't care in office, unless I lost a bet. She had to have. Who the hell does that? Nobody's that nice, where you're going around to 17 different people and taking their order.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing it. Even if they're buying my lunch, I'm not doing it.
I just, like we go to barbecue station. I know I don't have to text you. I had 3 brisket sandwiches. I've learned over time, if I'm going somewhere, don't text pledge, does he want anything? Just grab what you think he wants, because he sends his order and it's got all the specifics about, the no onions this, which is fine, but then it's the that and the this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, it's so complicated.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I don't even call you guys if I'm at, a sandwich place.
You show up with food.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it. And, I'll bring him, and he can take the onions off of it. I bring him those barbecue sandwiches, and he takes the onions off. He's fine.
But,
be all right.
But 17 sandwiches at Subway.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, it's not like she went to a burger place and just ordered, 4 14 cheeseburgers and 3 regular burgers because there are people out there that don't like cheese on their burger, right? I mean, Subway's not complicated. So you got 2 ladies in there 2 sandwich artists trying to make 17 different sandwiches.
So I got to ask you, because I'm trying to get this pictured in my mind.
It's not that complicated.
No, but I'm trying. So when you walked in the Subway, was she already there ordering?
Yeah. No.
She hadn't started yet.
No, there were a couple people in line. She was in line, and she did not say, hey, I've got a big order go in front of me. She did not indicate, nor did she have the list. She gets up there, and what do you want? And then the list comes out, and the grumblings in the back. And at first, all right, 2 or 3 sandwiches. Nope, there's pages. And it was 17 total sandwiches.
Oh, man. That put me in a bad mood, too, even on a Wednesday.
And you're pyramidal and 410, right? Could have said, well, because my thought process, Schlotsky's is right across the street.
Yeah.
But I just had Schlotsky's the other day. Arby's somehow closed. The Arby's at 410 and pyramidal has boards all over it, right? Or the hot dog place. Outside of that, then you're driving up Austin Highway, but you kind of sit there and mentally I'm thinking, well, by the time I go somewhere else, I won't save any time. I'm already running a little bit late. But 17 sandwiches.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that's incredible. I don't know. I probably would have gone across the street to Schlotsky's
and just got another Schlotsky's.
Der Wiener Schnitzel
yeah,
or
that's right,
something.
right there.
Yeah. I figure Arby's is closed. They suck.
I like Arby's.
Arby's.
Every now and then. I don't know when it closed. Last time I was there, it was open, but now it's not. But it really is kind of one of those really bizarre because, 17 Subways. What kind of bread on this one? Is that 6-inch or 12?
You want it toasted?
Oh, geez, yes. At least they were toasting 4 at a time.
Damn.
But, yeah. So
right.
What day is it?
Hump day?
Yeah.
I hope that was a damn good sandwich.
Well, it was fantastic.
Well, that's good.
It was fantastic.
See, you'll forget all about it now.
Oh, I'm good.
Everything's good.
I'm good. I'm good.
Oh, my God. Alexandra on our YouTube page says you could have stood there and ordered it online yourself.
Yeah, I thought about that, but it wouldn't have been done any faster.
It probably
But
wouldn't
why,
have.
if you're getting more than one sandwich, if you're getting more than 3, there should be a general rule, dude, step to the side and order online.
Well, do something. Yeah, she should have ordered online. And they would have been ready. Everybody would have been happy, and you have no problems.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad. That's too bad.
Jacob Eric says, did she pay individual or one big bill? One big bill.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
Can you imagine ringing up one sandwich at a time?
God.
That would have been bad. That would have been bad. By the way, Jacob and Alexandra and Art and Michael and everybody, they're on our YouTube page. You, too, could be on our YouTube page if you'd like. San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Go there, like, and subscribe. You can comment there. At Twitter, at Jason Minix. I'm at Joe Reinagel 210. You want to comment there on anything that we talk about. James Pledger is actually here today. Well, I guess you're always here, except when he gets a golf invitation that we don't get to go to.
Well, and that does happen. Now, I'm not sure, James is trying to not be here, I think, because he keeps trying to taunt you and me, but more you.
Dude, I'm telling you, and I don't give a damn who gets mad about this or if I hurt AJ's feelings. That cat is about to go in the dumpster.
Uh-huh.
There's a stuffed cat in here, and it's the ugliest damn thing I've ever seen.
It is ugly.
And it was sitting over there next to Pledge, but I could see it clearly through the glass box there. And I said, Pledge, will you please move that ugly cat? And he moves it, and it's staring at both of us now.
Pledge is being the total little brother ass.
He really is.
That's all because he knows it pisses you off and pisses me off. And he's just acting like that annoying little brother.
Well,
needs his ass kicked.
Next time I see AJ, I'm going to get over it, dude. It's been long enough. You're over it. Get over it.
He never actually owned the cat.
He never owned the cat.
It died before it could actually be his.
Yes, there is a God. That poor cat.
Better off now.
Well, I'm not sure. He probably paid more money for that stuffed animal than he ever did for that cat.
I got to be honest. That might be Rob's.
Oh, Rob.
Well, AJ's been out.
What the hell would Rob be doing with a stuffed cat?
Getting it the hell out of his house.
Huh.
I don't know.
I worry about Rob if that's Rob's.
Well, I can almost guarantee that ain't Rob's. But AJ's been out. His son graduated high school the other day.
Yeah, but I think they brought it because we were out on Friday.
Yeah.
And so I think he brought it in on Friday.
Oh, okay. No? Yeah, Pledge says no.
All right. Well, whatever.
I think it came in this week.
I don't know.
Maybe it was Rob.
They're saying it's, they had KBB stuffed.
Is that what it is?
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I mean, there's good taxidermy work, and then there's that. I mean, KBB got mauled by a coyote. There's not much the taxidermist could have done with that.
Well, if you're going to, it should be missing a leg.
Should be missing a leg, and, the whole reason why AJ was infatuated with that damn cat was his nuts, and that stuffed animal doesn't have those.
Well, which is concerning in itself, which obviously is my suspicions about AJ come true every day. I'll just let it go at that. Oh, my goodness. My goodness. My goodness. Apparently, according to Alexandra, Rob cuddles with that thing every morning.
That doesn't surprise me.
Huh.
He's unaware of what he's cuddling with. He just knows it's something.
He's got to cuddle with it. That's it, huh? Oh, my goodness. These young men in the mornings, they're crazy. They are crazy. We got a lot to talk about. Did you see that game last night and the performance by one Tyrese Halliburton?
No.
You didn't see it? You were watching the Dallas Stars get their ass kicked again.
It was a hell of a hockey game.
It was. They got their ass kicked.
No, they did not. It was 2-1.
It's 4-1 was the final?
Yeah, they got a couple empty netters late.
Oh, okay.
But, I mean, outside of that, that was an incredible game that the Dallas Stars played last night, yet they lost. They played a great first period. They had 18 shots. They can't score on the road. And then they finally get the game tied at 1 and then promptly give up a goal. And they were down 2-1, and Edmonton got 2 empty netters late to make it look 4-1. But that was a hell of a hockey game last night.
So we'll have a funeral for the Dallas Stars coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, they got one more.
Yeah.
A better team is winning the series.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not the better seed, though, right? And wasn't Dallas a higher seed?
But they're playing better hockey right now, and some of it's injury that Dallas is dealing with. But Dallas just cannot score on the road. That is, boys, a team that desperately needs a road win. They just have to score on the road. They can't. It's bad.
A lot of us have experienced that.
I mean, but but last night was one hell of a hockey game. I mean, just an incredible hockey game, but Dallas on the wrong end.
Look, and we're going to talk about this, but there is another hero to that game that nobody's talking about. Tyrese Halliburton should be getting all the praise, but somebody hit a shot late that sealed the deal, and I was very happy about it for a number of reasons. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs. What happened last night, what's coming up tonight, because tonight's a big game as well. And Charles Barkley calling out ESPN. What in the world could he be saying now? We'll talk about all of that when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, best thing to do is call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds, because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They are discreet and confidential and open 24/7 with offices all over San Antonio and Texas, services nationwide. Up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community. From installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-961-5544. 800-961-5544.
When you switch to Progressive and bundle your home and auto, you could save hundreds, and that's a surprising amount of money.
Whoa, that's like farmer's market money.
That's like give me a gallon of that locally sourced raw honey money.
That's certified organic heirloom tomatoes in every imaginable color except red money.
That's let's get 2 pounds of pink oyster mushrooms money. I'm not even sure I like pink oyster mushrooms.
Guess it's time to find out, because you could save hundreds when you switch to Progressive and bundle. Then the world is your pink oyster mushroom. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Huge news. Right now at Wendy's, you can get a Son of Baconator for just $3. I don't think you understand this situation. The Son of Baconator is only $3 for a limited time. You know, smoked bacon, rich melted cheese. That Son of Baconator is only $3. Thank you to whoever wished upon that star. For bacon that just won't quit, gotta be Wendy's.
U.S. price and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Alaska and Hawaii, not valid on a combo or on third-party delivery platforms.
This just in. The NFL schedule has dropped, and you know what that means. It's go time. Adam Schefter here with the Insider Tip. If you're trying to catch your team live this season, Vivid Seats is the move. For the best selection of games and seats, it's time to snap your tickets up now. Vivid Seats has great deals on great seats and the only rewards program in the game. It's no wonder they're the official ticketing partner of ESPN. So don't wait. Head to vividseats.com or download the app and lock in those game days.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. There's still time. Come to Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale and get a queen mattress and adjustable base for just $399.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet? RV wins! Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping? RV wins! Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach? RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe.
I had to deal with it in basketball season, Minix, and now I got to deal with it in football season. Basketball season, it was Bronny James. Mm-hmm. Every headline, every time.
Bronny has earned it.
Every time the kid walked across the street, he said, oh, my God, look how beautiful he is walking the street. Mm-hmm. Look at the talent. Mm-hmm. It was fantastic. And now it's Shedeur Sanders. Just while we're in the break, I'm minding my own business. Pops one of those things, whatever they call them, from Sports Illustrated. Mm-hmm. Shedeur Sanders had the best numbers during Brown teams' drills at OTAs. He was fantastic, had a really good day, according to this article. In fact, the fifth-round pick had his best performance among the team's 4 quarterbacks on Wednesday. He completed 7 out of 9 passes and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions.
Now, if it had said Shedeur Sanders sucked today, would you be a little bit more excited? Or, I mean, Shedeur is famous, popular, expected to be a first-round pick that went all the way to the fifth. And if he had a good day, you know that's going to be a story.
Well, dude, it's like playing in the street with your friends. Run to the mailbox, I'm going to throw it to you right. I mean, it's OTAs. There's no pass rush. There's no tackling. There's none of that. Joe Flacco was 9 of 14. They're not talking about that.
Wait. How do you know if he was 9 of 14 if they didn't write it?
They're comparing, that, and Sanders only threw 9 passes. Hell, Gabriel was 11 of 16 with two touchdowns.
Okay.
But they're not mentioning that. Shedeur had a good day, but so did Joe Flacco. But Dylan Gabriel had a good day.
Percentage-wise, Shedeur had the best day.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, it's math.
But, I mean, seriously, is that something we're going to have to hear about every time Shedeur Sanders goes out to OTAs and throws a football?
Yes.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I thought I got away with this. I mean, we finally stopped hearing about Bronny because, Bronny's Bronny.
NBA offseason.
Well, I guess, but now Shedeur. 7 of 9.
That's
playing
pretty good.
Street football.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, sure. Unbelievable.
I mean, if he was 3 of 9, that would also be a headline.
I doubt it.
No, that would be a headline.
You think they would actually print that? They're going to say he sucked today.
Yeah, they would.
Oh my God!
A disastrous day for Shedeur. That would be a headline. That would be. Whatever Shedeur does, it's going to be the headline. You know, Shedeur goes to local high school, works out with kids. Cool. Shedeur 3 of 9, 9 of 11, whatever it is. Yeah, Shedeur is the story.
All right. Can you imagine if you had a radio show in Cleveland right now?
Are you kidding? The ESPN Cleveland sales department has sold out the Shedeur Sanders updates.
And no kidding. We'd have to say every time the guy, walked on the field, went in the bathroom to poo and
used 3 dude wipes.
Exactly.
This report brought to you by Charmin.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. Look, we've said it before. I think Shedeur Sanders got a great opportunity to win that starting job. I mean, I really do. But it's OTAs, for goodness sake.
All right. Now, Pledge is bringing up, remember Wemby's first Summer League game?
Okay.
And we, over everything.
Well, there was actually defense in that game. There was actually people trying to play.
It was a Summer League game.
Well, I know.
I mean, in reality, they don't have a Summer League type version next to OTAs. You report on everything that we saw. Remember his opening press conference, and he missed that first bucket, 2 buckets, 3 buckets before he actually made one on the Frostbank Center court.
We said he sucks.
Yeah, but there were people that were counting that and showing that. Like, did the Spurs make a mistake? This dude can't hit. I mean, that was there. That was there.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. It's going to be difficult.
Dude, on the small TV last night, I did have the basketball game on. And late in that game, about 5-6 minutes to go after Edmonton got their first empty netter, and I knew it was over at that point, switched televisions and saw the last several minutes of the basketball game. I couldn't tell you the over-under on the John Halliburton sightings because I wasn't paying that close attention, but I think if you took the over, you probably won.
Yes.
But that overrated dude, son of his, played big-time basketball last night. That looked like a very fun environment. Game was good, but the environment there in Indy looked incredible. I know I missed a good basketball game last night watching a great hockey game.
Well, look, it was a good game, but really the Pacers had control of that game the entire second half. In no point in time, although it did get a little close toward the end, and by close to the spread. And so that's what I was worried about. And I just, there was no doubt Indiana was going to win the game, but I had Indiana -3, so I was a little worried about it. Then Obi Toppin hits a 3-point bucket that I went, thank you, OB. He was my hero last night.
Okay.
I know Tyrese Halliburton had a great game. Look, a triple-double, no turnovers. No turnovers for that guy. That's unheard of. The guy just does not turn the ball over. He's incredible.
It's funny. I saw, and I don't know if it's an accurate stat because I saw it on the internet, but he had 77 passes last night for 444 yards and no turnovers. And I thought, man, what a great stat, because it's true. I mean, I don't know how accurately true that is, but he had one of those incredible games last night. When you look at 15 assists, 12 rebounds, 32 points, but 0 turnovers. I mean, that's pretty incredible when you do pass the ball that much and make all the right basketball decisions. Getting voted the most overrated player in the NBA might have been ultimately the best thing for Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers this playoff run, because that guy has played on a mission since that came out.
I tell you what, he has been fantastic, and that team is good, man. They're really good. They're deep, and you can just see New York just doesn't. They don't have enough horses to keep up with them. They just don't. And it's, New York's got some good players, don't get me wrong, but they just don't have the guys to keep up. The depth of the Indiana Pacers is just that. It's good, and that's what's going to make that final series so good against OKC, because OKC has got that depth as well.
Well, now 3-1. The fact that the New York Knicks made it interesting late, there were some plays in there, and I know Karl Anthony Towns has taken a lot of crap today nationally. I don't know how seriously injured he is, because he's got that knee that he was bothered with a little bit last night, but at the same time, he was still out there. Dude, it's the playoffs. It's Game 5's in your building. You figure it out and you go.
Oh, and Nesmith, yeah, he was fantastic. Aaron Nesmith played hurt last night. I'm sure Cat will as well. Cat goes out of that game with a banged up knee late in the game, and there's some question about whether he's going to play in Game 5, but he'll play.
He'll play.
I don't think there's any question.
I mean, the question is, the Knicks have been better on the road than at home this postseason.
True.
Indiana's been great on the road. A chance to close it out at the Garden. I think they'll do. I'm just curious if, with all these celebrities that live in New York, will somebody grab a microphone to try to one-up Pat McAfee from last night?
Indianapolis, Indiana. We got some big wigs from the big city in the building. Spike Lee is here. Ben Stiller is here. Timothy Chalamet is here. Let's send these sons of bitches back to New York with their ears ringing. Let's turn this on.
He's full WWE.
I love that, man. And of course, the headline was Ben Stiller and others are not happy about the Pat McAfee troll. Dude, that was outstanding.
Ben Stiller was so nice on Twitter, responding to so many people, probably on his flight home. That's great. But you love, as a fan without a vested interest in either team, you love stuff like that, because it feels, one, you're taking shots at the celebrities and let them take some shots back. And, Ben Stiller went the, be kind route. And for all, well, think about it. For everybody that he was responding to, they're screenshotting that. Holy crap, Ben Stiller responded to my tweet.
Yes.
And he did it in a good way, not picking a fight, none of that kind of BS. Good fun. He said it was a little weird. And because in New York, when you're a celebrity, you're just one of many people in a room that are famous. You take that many famous people and put them in Indianapolis, which would be no different if they had all showed up in San Antonio. It's, oh my God, look who's sitting courtside. It's the who's who, where that's common occurrence at the Garden.
Absolutely, it is. But for McAfee to do that was outstanding. And I love the fact that he did that. And boy, I tell you what, you talk about, he's loved in Indianapolis anyway. And now, man, that just went that much higher. But it was fantastic. I loved it. Tonight we got Oklahoma City can shut the door in Minnesota. They already lead that series 3-1. The game is in Oklahoma City. I fully expect this series to be over tonight. Shai Gilgeous has just been fantastic. The guy's just been outstanding. He is the MVP. He's playing like the MVP, and he's awesome. Tough to stop.
I like OKC to close it out tonight, but my goodness, Anthony Edwards has to have a big game tonight. I mean, for him to get 13 shots the other night in his own building and then say, no, I played well, I just didn't take enough shots. And you never know how these narratives really get started on face the league and who's the next and all that kind of stuff. And it feels like, as LeBron's gotten older, like in golf, Tiger, who's going to be the next? And it's been this guy, that guy, and whatnot.
That's a part of it, yeah.
Yeah, and could it be Anthony Edwards? Well, to this point, the answer is no, and Charles Barkley last night called out ESPN for trying to force Ant as the face of the league.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are going to win the championship, and anybody want to bet me any amount of money, come to my damn house, because I can afford it. OKC is the best team in the NBA. I've been telling y'all that for 2 months. Hey, ESPN, I love you guys. Don't try to make Anthony Edwards the face of the NBA. The face of the NBA is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Joker, and Giannis. You can't give it to people. They have to take it. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is taking it.
He is taking it. I agree with Chuck there. And look, Anthony Edwards is going to be a part of the conversation. He's going to get better. He'll learn from all of this, and he's going to get better. But right now, SGA is just on another planet, and he belongs in the conversation with Joker and with Giannis at this point in time. I mean, he has played to that level this year, certainly.
Although when you hear that from Charles Barkley, and I know the three he mentioned, SGA, Joker, and Giannis, are those the three people you automatically think of when you think of who's the face of the NBA? Like if you're sitting over at the Rue Pub later and say, who's the face of the NBA, not named LeBron, do you think those three are the first names coming out of somebody's mouth if you're taking an informal poll?
Well, I'm thinking Joker probably would be my first pick. Look, and you could go Steph Curry.
Steph Curry would probably be my first.
But he's getting old.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to fall off pretty soon. So they're talking about the future, I think, and everybody's looking for another face, and that's why these guys come up.
And my goodness, if the Knicks could actually get to the finals, Jalen Brunson would fall into that conversation. I might put Luka up there. And at what point does our guy Wemby fall into that conversation where it's not forced from a San Antonio type, but from a Charles Barkley type? I'm a little surprised, a little offended that Wemby wasn't a part of that, because he will be the global face before long, if he's not already.
Well, look, I think he's got to play a little bit more, and the Spurs have to be a little more successful to get him on that national stage. I don't think there's any question he's going to be. It's just a matter of when. But I think right now, I wouldn't call Wemby the face of the NBA right now. I just don't think he's earned that just yet.
He hasn't.
He hasn't.
But future face?
Sure.
Projected face?
Absolutely. And I think was it Perk that said that on ESPN? I think that one of the national guys, former basketball player, said that he anticipates Victor Wembanyama to be the face of the NBA, which led to a question, and it's a topic we should address maybe at some point. I'd love to get somebody's feelings on this. Can the face of the NBA now be a European player?
I mean, we've had 7 straight Euros win MVP.
I'm just saying. Well, until SGA.
Well, he's from Canada. That's 7.
That's not Europe.
It's not American.
It's not Europe.
It's not American.
All right, it's going to be the American. It's going to be the 51st state pretty soon.
But not yet. It's 7 straight non-U.S. born MVP winners. The last MVP winner that was born in the United States was James Harden.
Wow. Well, that's correct. So I guess we can. Look, I think, to me, the best player in the NBA right now is Joker.
Yep.
That's, to me, he is. And then you go from there. And I think SGA is right there. You could talk about Giannis, obviously.
Luka,
you can talk about him. Wemby will get there, but I think a lot of that's going to come from success of the team. And that's why I think the Spurs better get aggressive and do something. No doubt about it. All right, we'll talk a lot more basketball coming up because it is a big game tonight between Minnesota and OKC. A closeout game for them Thunders. Coming up next, though, we're going to talk about the first power index in the NFL. ESPN has released that. Where do the Dallas Cowboys rank in the first power rankings, and who's on top? We'll talk about it when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle's closeout season, did we say goodbye to a basketball team and a hockey team? We'll talk about the big game between the Knicks and the Pacers, news out of the NFL, and AJ's back. Oh, what a party it'll be. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Big cash giveaway, yeah. $250,000, yes. The next 10 months, GimmeTheVin.com is giving back. Everyone that sells us their car gets put in the drawing, and monthly we're pulling out $25,000 and giving it to you. So, not only are we the top of the market buyer, but you got a chance to win $25,000. That's what we mean by big cash giveaway. GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Testing.
We're live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee through May 30th. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Ugh, I gotta get business cards printed for my entire staff, but where do I even?
That was easy.
Oh, okay, Staples. But can I have bigger stuff printed too, like huge signs and banners?
That was easy.
Nice. And what if I had to ship a package?
That was easy.
Have my passport photo taken?
That was easy.
Coffee and snacks?
That was easy.
What about the latest laptops?
That was
Earbuds
easy.
and headphones?
That was
Office
easy.
chairs?
That was easy.
I think I also need to get some Staples.
Seriously?
I had to ask.
For everything your business needs to get the job done.
Staples. That was easy.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Morning, sir. I stopped you for a seatbelt violation.
But, officer, I was going 2 blocks.
Most crashes happen close to home. Any more excuses?
Okay, I forgot.
Save the excuses and up to $200 in fines. Click it or ticket, day and night. A message from TxDOT.
Who sings that song? Is that Micah's brother? I can see him doing that. Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. This is the Blitz here on 94.1. Here we go. San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minnick's here as well. James Pledger producing this show. And we're happy that you decided to spend some time with us here on the Blitz. You want to get a hold of us? You can do that. Go to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. You can like and subscribe there. Please hit that thumbs up button, if you will, if you're already subscribed. If not, subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. Just makes the boss happy with us.
And if you want to call in and tell Joe about Post Malone, you could do that at 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Yes. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210, at Jason Minnick's. You know, we've got some concert tickets to give away a little bit later today.
Yeah.
And
it's not Post Malone.
It is not. But I got to admit, we're giving away tickets to something that I have no idea what it is.
Wow, really?
No idea what stick figure is. Do you know, Pledge? You're lying. I looked them up going, who is stick figure? And, you know, comparable music, you know how Apple Music will do that? Slightly Stupid is on the list, but that is the only of all the bands listed. I'm like, all right, I have no idea what stick figure is. But
Pledge says it's reggae.
Nothing in the description I read suggested reggae. Granted, I didn't play any of it. I just looked it up.
Well, somebody will know what stick figure is.
I mean, well, dude, he's playing Germania. That's a pretty big venue. So, I always like learning about new music, new artists, that sort of thing. So when I see something I don't know, I want to go check it out to see, is this somebody I should know? And again, Germania is not a small venue. So if they're headlining, they must be big and, you know.
Oh, they got a following.
They got a following.
Absolutely.
You know, probably pretty. And if they're anything like Slightly Stupid, I'm guessing I'd have a good time there.
Slightly Stupid. Huh? Wow.
Slightly.
Always takes me back to that, you know, the dark room in the kitchen. And what is this? Stick figure?
All right. Now on Apple,
musical or what?
Apple Music, about stick figure, dub is roots music, but Scott Woodruff takes it airborne with this stick figure project, putting equal emphasis on bass weight and airy drift. Dude's from Massachusetts. Picked up the drums at age 12. Nothing in there to say anything about reggae, but I didn't play any of the music. I just went there and went like, all right, cool.
He must be a skinny dude.
It's possible.
Stick
Similar
figure.
artists, The Movement, don't know. K-Bong, don't know. Revolution, don't know. Slightly Stupid, know them. Tribal Seeds, don't know. I have no idea. But we're giving away tickets, so they must be big enough to give away tickets.
Well, then we should probably do that right now.
Right now.
Sounds like a great idea, Jim.
There you go.
656-3776, 656-ESPN. You want to be caller number 7.
7?
You want to? It's not that. Is it that big?
I don't know.
Stick figure? Or you want them at 17?
No.
75?
No.
903?
Yes.
We'll lose Pledge for the rest of the show, but that'll be all right.
That's cat revenge.
All right. How about
7's fine.
All right. Let's do caller number 7 then. Do that. If you want to go see Stick Figure on June 29th at the Germania Insurance Arena, is that what it's called? Amphitheater, Arena, Coliseum, whatever the hell. You know what I'm talking about. Call in and win those tickets. If you don't win the tickets, I'm sure you can buy them.
LiveNation.com. Live Nation's $30 ticket this summer. Get your tickets, LiveNation.com, if you're not caller number 7 right now, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. The NFL Football Power Index is out. The 2025 projection, Super Bowl champions, ESPN puts it out. Is this the first one that they've done?
The first one for the year, right? And so you kind of got to take that with a grain of salt with whatever you're doing and whatever you think and whoever your favorite team is because, well, they haven't played a game yet, and there's still a lot of work to be done before they do. But it is something to talk about.
Well, it is, and again, where you think your team is, where they're not. They've got the Eagles at number 1, the Chiefs at number 2, Ravens at 3, Lions at 4, Bills at 5. I don't know that anybody would argue with any of that.
Maybe just, yeah, sure. I mean, the top 5, I would put the Bills a little higher than that probably, but that's fine.
I mean, they are favored to win every game.
They are.
So, I mean, you realize sometimes when you look at these kind of deals, not everybody's on the same page because, you know, and the Bills aren't going to go undefeated. But at least as we sit right now, they are favored to win every one of their games. You would think that if you knew that, your Football Power Index would have them at number 1 because they're the only one favored to win every game.
It's all very close, and I'm not exactly sure about these numbers. Like the Eagles are plus 5.5. The Chiefs are just 5.4. Ravens 5.2. And so on and so forth. So they're all very close. And then you get a little separation after the Buffalo Bills.
You know, and again, the Texans at 13, the Cowboys at 18.
Uh-huh. Nobody's given the Cowboys much respect.
None. And you know, as a Cowboy fan.
Does that piss you off?
Not really. it really doesn't, because if the Cowboys aren't expected to do much, and they do, they've exceeded expectations. Too many years we've gone into looking at rankings like this and see the Cowboys at 8 and everybody's like, who the hell, all you Cowboys, and now they're not there. And you go, well, what's wrong with this list? Because I don't think people truly know. Cowboy fans, non-Cowboy fans, NFL experts, nobody truly knows where to slot the Dallas Cowboys this year. Because, yes, they've gotten better offensively, but they have a new head coach. So with the new head coach who has no head coaching experience, you wonder, well, how good are they going to be? Can everybody stay healthy? The defense is still bad. And by the way, their schedule is kind of brutal. But so you look at that, I don't know that anybody in May has a good gauge on what this Dallas Cowboys team can look like. How much of this is, well, what if Micah Parsons holds out for 8 weeks? What if Micah Parsons misses training camp? You know, his absence in training camp, if he is behind and not quite in football shape, is that a half a loss, a full loss? I mean, what's that impact going to be on the team? I think it's just hard to judge the Cowboys right now.
It's a new defense, and that would be the only thing. But I think it's a different ball game between him and a C.D. Lamb, for example.
Yeah.
I think C.D. Lamb needed some, you know, you need that work a little more, get in tune with the quarterback and all that. But, I mean, Micah Parsons is a pass rusher. So I'm not sure that it's going to take him all that long, but I'm sure that they're going to move him around. At least they said they're going to do that. So there's some things that he's got to do. It's crazy. They have a projected win-loss record and odds to win the Super Bowl and all of that. The Eagles are still the top at 11.5%. The Cowboys are 1.4%.
So you're saying there's a chance.
Texans are 2.5%. So take that with a grain of salt. Ahead of the Cowboys, and I don't understand this. And this is what, when I look at some of these, Jason, I don't get it. They got Pittsburgh ahead of Dallas. Pittsburgh doesn't have a quarterback right now. And I don't think it's going to be – I don't think that it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. Nobody wants it to be Aaron Rodgers, including a former Pittsburgh Steeler great by the name of Terry Bradshaw.
What do you think about possibly Aaron Rodgers being the quarterback? That's a joke. He shouldn't. That is just, to me, is a joke. What are you going to do? Bring him in for 1 year? Are you kidding me? I mean,
that's not the Steelers' way, right?
No, man, that guy needs to stay in California and go somewhere and chew on bark and whisper to the gods out there.
I think he's a bum. I totally agree with that because I've been saying that for a long time. It's time for him to walk away.
Chew on bark is got to be the new great insult that we all come up with.
Well, that's kind of what Rodgers does. And when he goes in his hole, what's he chewing on? Bark?
I mean, just chew on bark is certainly interesting. Bradshaw had another one that was great when he described one time meeting Aaron Rodgers.
I had to go over and introduce myself to him. He's not. I had to go, hey, Aaron, I'm Terry Bradshaw. I know he knows me, but I just felt like I better tell him who I am. Yeah. And not, you walk in there and you get in his presence and you feel like it's going to start snowing.
Wow.
So Bradshaw not a fan of Aaron Rodgers.
No, and
is anybody a fan of Aaron Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers
is. Yeah, he is.
Yet the Steelers are waiting for him, and it certainly feels like Pittsburgh's expecting Aaron Rodgers to show up. The NFL, when you look at things like this, are expecting Aaron Rodgers to show up. Some of the national games that they got, because you're right. I mean, Mike Tomlin always makes the playoffs, but it's been a long time since he has won a playoff game. But Mason Rudolph right now is your starter, which makes you want, even if it's 1 year, Aaron Rodgers to roll up and be the savior. But I heard Rich Eisen on my way in talking about this. You wonder the longer he waits, what kind of cold shoulder will Aaron Rodgers get from the veterans in that locker room that, are sweating right now, going through the OTAs, getting ready for the season, doing what they need to do, and yet Aaron Rodgers isn't there. Now, granted, he has said one of the reasons he can't commit right now is because there are some people very close to him that are apparently dealing with cancer, and he needs to be with them. And if that's true, I think most of us would understand that. But at the same time, if you're Pittsburgh, wouldn't you sign and then, I don't know, get permission to not be there but still work on your own time studying the playbook? And maybe he has it, and we just don't know yet. But as it looks right now, perception from what we know is he's doing his own thing. Pittsburgh's getting ready, hoping that this dude shows up.
The only reason it makes sense is because you drafted Will Howard. So, and you think about, Rodgers in there for 1 year, let Will Howard learn the NFL, and then go from there. Although Will Howard, if I'm not mistaken, is older than most rookies coming in. It's just a mess. And Aaron Rodgers is just making it more of a mess. And I am shocked, quite honestly, that the Pittsburgh Steelers are waiting for this guy to do anything. I mean, it just is so un-Pittsburgh-like that it just makes absolutely no sense. None whatsoever.
And the other option is make a trade for Kirk Cousins.
There's that.
And you wonder, does New Orleans make a trade for Kirk Cousins? I mean, Kirk Cousins is all of a sudden in demand, but I almost wonder if a trade for Kirk Cousins will go down after Aaron Rodgers makes a decision, which is either Pittsburgh, retirement, or I don't know. I mean, who knows with that guy? This weekend, the calendar flips to June. And you kind of feel like, I don't know, at some point by mandatory minicamp time, Pittsburgh needs to know who's going to be their quarterback.
Yes, they do. Or you're going to go in with Mason Rudolph. And look, no offense to Mason Rudolph, good backup, but I wouldn't be really excited if he was my starter at this point in time. So, look, this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, I think part of it could be, and I'm not trying to be a hard-hearted dude here about his family members and all, but part of it I think is just he loves the attention. Mm-hmm. He's loving everybody talking about it. When are you going to Pittsburgh? How come you're not there? Why not? Where are you going? What are you doing? And, I mean, he was on with Joe Rogan for 3 freaking hours.
Yeah. Not talking football, but conspiracy theories. And he's done a handful of podcasts lately. And it can't be he doesn't want to go to a place like Pittsburgh and hang out all summer because, hell, he used to play in Green Bay. I've been to both cities. Well, I've been to Milwaukee. I can only imagine Green Bay. But I have spent time in Pittsburgh. It's a funner city than you think it is. But at the same time, it just feels like by the time mandatory minicamp, at some point Mike Tomlin's got to make a move. And I can't imagine Mason Rudolph is their guy. Do they make a trade for Kirk Cousins? Do they make a trade for somebody else's backup? There's got to be other options out there. And, it is Mike Tomlin, so it could be something completely out of left field that we're not expecting.
It could be, and I would hope that they have some sort of a plan. Now, I don't know what kind of a football team they're going to have overall. I have no clue. But if you don't have a quarterback that you can count on, then you're not going to do anything. And I just don't think that they do. And, again, they hope Will Howard is the future. That's why they drafted the guy, and they hope he's their future. But they need to do something for this year. If it's Aaron Rodgers, it's Aaron Rodgers. But I just think people like Terry Bradshaw, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I just wonder if they really want that guy. I mean, I can't imagine. Now, we know a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Have you heard from Kevin Brock? Does he want Aaron Rodgers as a Pittsburgh Steeler?
Despite what Aaron Rodgers might think, that has not come up in one conversation with old Kevin Brock. Not one. I have no idea if a Pittsburgh Steelers fan would want.
Well, if there's any out there other than our good friend Kevin Brock, or if Kevin Brock's listening, he can call in too. But let us know. I mean, I'm curious. I would think in the city of Pittsburgh, and I would love to I mean, that's got to be the topic of conversation at Pittsburgh sports radio shows. Is Aaron Rodgers going to be here or not? And I just can't imagine the Steeler fans are all that excited about it.
I can't imagine the Steelers can. Their owner said the other day at the owners' meetings, no deadline. We're still giving them time. So they're waiting.
Yeah, well, good for them. I hope they go 0-17.
They could have said, no, we've moved on.
0-17.
That's not what they've done.
I hope they do. I really do. You brought up Wisconsin a few minutes ago, Minix,
yep.
And they do something really stupid there that I don't understand why they do it. And people are getting hurt. It's crazy. And we're talking about another kid who has a famous dad, just pissing me off. It really is. I'll tell you what it is when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Taking you home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6, KTFM Floresville, and everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 832-662-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Progressive knows you've got enough to worry about in life.
Hi, it's your life again. Feel like another year is just slipping away? Yeah, remember all those New Year's resolutions you made? You still haven't finished the first book. Just 19 more to go. I mean, if we're being honest, it wasn't a very realistic goal. Have you ever considered that you intentionally self-sabotage? So, what's that about?
So, let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
An accident can leave you struggling to pay for medical bills. At Thomas J. Henry, we believe you deserve justice, no matter your financial situation. That's why you don't pay us unless we win your case. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
The water coming in and out of your home is like laughter. Here in San Antonio in the hill country, it can be harsh. Now that's harsh. At the same time, those that know have a Connecticut quality water softener enjoy this. Smooth, soft, pure, clean water. The difference is astounding. Hard water, soft water. If you don't have a Connecticut water softener in your home, you're basically inviting destructive hard water to beat up your appliances, hot water heater, and every pipe in your home. And that's no laughing matter.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio in the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Connecticut is simply the best water softener you can buy, and that's why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own. Don't live with. Live with.
The last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE. Connecticut.
License number 38961.
During National Military Appreciation Month, we at University of Maryland Global Campus say thank you to the service members, veterans, and families who dedicate their lives to our country. We are deeply grateful. For over 75 years, UMGC has proudly served the military community, from installations overseas to the communities you call home. Wherever you serve, we stand with you. Learn more at umgc.edu/thanks. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
The WNBA season is here. You want to make those games more interesting and exciting to watch? Make sure you've got a chance at cash from Underdog, one of the leading places to make all your sports picks. The Underdog app has over 100,000 five-star reviews, millions of players, and all you have to do is choose higher or lower on predicted stats to win at cold hard cash. Download the Underdog app. Sign up with my promo code STAR to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, use promo code STAR at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
San Antonio Spurs announced today they will be part of the 4-team field at the Colorado Classic Summer League event. They'll play with the Warriors, Lakers, and Heat. That runs from July 5th through the 8th. Houston Texans and Carolina Panthers announced they're going to have a joint practice in Houston ahead of their August 16th preseason game. Also scheduling a joint practice with the Detroit Lions ahead of that August 23rd preseason game.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You know what day it is?
Hump Day!
Hump Day!
Hump Day!
Yeah! Happy Hump Day, everybody. Oh, man, it's a great day. Great Wednesday here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix here as well. James Pledger producing the show, and we're happy you're with us as well. Happy Hump Day, Minix.
Happy Wednesday.
Give me a hump day, Minix. Come on.
Hump Day?
Thank you. That's good enough. Yeah. Oh, man, what a day, what a day, what a day. You know, everybody's talking in our YouTube page, and you can like and subscribe our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Go in there. The comments are fantastic, but it's like still people are saying we need to build. And
the Spurs need to build.
Well, that's what. I don't play for them. Yeah. I am a fan though. And I'm like, they've already built the house. The house is built, is it not? Now it's just time to add some furniture and some flowers and some rugs.
Flowers, huh? Huh.
And trophies.
Yes, I would rather have that. You're right. The foundation is set. I'm with you. This whole we've taken all the proper steps. It's time to start winning.
It is.
That, to me, that's the bottom line. That's what the Spurs need to do. But that's why I think this offseason is going to be so fascinating, because with the draft, Spurs have the 2 and the 14. Will they make a trade? So many teams seem to want to make a trade. And we'll get into it here in a little bit, but it almost feels like, trades around the draft might be actually more exciting than that first week of free agency, the amount of movement leading into this draft. So, it's almost like, in the conference finals, in the West, and it could end tonight, the West, but there's been one competitive game through 4, and Oklahoma City can close out Minnesota tonight. Indiana could close out New York tomorrow night. Let's get on to the finals, and let's get on to the fun. All right? Sorry, OKC. Sorry, Indiana, the 2 teams I think will end up in the NBA Finals. Nobody gives a damn. Let's just get to the offseason fun.
Well, nobody here in San Antonio gives a damn. I agree. Let's get to the offseason fun and see what happens. Problem is, what is today, the 28th? And we got till June 25th. We got a whole month to wait for this thing. So there's going to be a lot of stuff there. But I heard today it's like that week prior to the draft where it could really be active. And you could hear some trades, and you can hear some stuff like that. Hey, let's do the headline blitz.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
First thing I got to do, minutes, is apologize to the great folks of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
This is not happening in Wisconsin.
But it feels like it should.
It should. I heard cheese, and I immediately thought of Wisconsin.
No, but it's over in England.
Yeah, well, they're dumb.
They've been doing this for over 100 years.
Yeah, and did you see the video of the one?
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. It's crazy. It's called a cheese roll.
Mm-hmm.
And these people just run down this hill as fast as they can and ultimately end up rolling down said hill. The video is nuts.
Well, it seems like they get really drunk and have a good time.
Oh my God.
And it's funny. We talk about this every year about how dumb this is, yet people keep doing it.
Unfortunately, I guess our signal's not there. Well, I like to call some of these people, and even if you're drunk. Now, look, I would run with the Bulls, get tanked up and do that. I think that'd be fun. But I'm not rolling down a damn hill like this.
Would you really run with the Bulls?
I would do that. Now, maybe not now, but in my younger day, yeah, I would have done that. I think that'd have been fun to run with the Bulls. I just try to make sure there was somebody behind me the whole time.
And beside you, and
yes.
You're kind of there, but not really in the middle of the street.
Yes.
You say you did it, get your selfie, and go.
Yes.
Kind of like Rob's kid did.
Exactly.
Well, Jack, was it Jack?
I think it was Jack.
It was Clay. It was Clay that did that.
Okay.
I know one of his kids went running with the Bulls, and I don't know that I would. I want to be on the balcony watching the chaos. I don't want to be in the chaos.
I just think it would be a blast. I really do. And again, I may have aged myself out of that thing, but yeah, get all tanked up and run with the Bulls. You see the guys reaching back and touching those things on the yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I see some of them getting one of those horns right up the old caboose.
Yeah, that's not what you want.
Well, these people in England are nuts.
Not quite England, but still staying over there, at least talking about Rory. There's etiquette in golf.
Yes.
There are protocols that you're supposed to follow. And Rory is getting hammered because he didn't call Jack to say he was skipping the memorial.
Yeah, it surprised me, but guys have got schedules and got things they do, and I haven't talked to him for him to tell me why or why not. That's just his call. I made a lot of calls that I had to make when I played to play or not play, and sometimes it wasn't as popular as people thought it was. But sometimes you have to make those calls. I don't hold anything against Rory for that. He did what he likes to play. I know he likes to play so many in a row. He likes to play the week before a U.S. Open, so that's what he's doing. So I really don't have a comment on it. It's very difficult. Very difficult. I mean, I'm a big Rory fan, always have been, and I'm sure that will remain that way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I'm sure he will.
55 seconds for a no comment.
he was trying to walk that line pretty good. Look, Rory's kind of been, since he won the Masters and completed his career Grand Slam, it's kind of been, I don't know. I mean, he misses, he doesn't talk to the media anymore, and he doesn't do any of that stuff. And now you're not calling Jack to tell him you're not playing his tournament. I mean, Jack is kind of the king of the hill, right? And so you got to kind of, hey, kiss the ring and say, hey, Jack, I'm not going to make it this year.
I don't think that's quite how he sounds.
Who would be stealing my lucky charms?
Yeah. No, but when you look at it, golf is still one of those, it's about the etiquette. And 10 minutes out of your day, I don't care how busy your schedule is, that's a call that you have to make. And I don't know how do you call Jack? Do you have to call his assistant and then he puts him on the phone? Do you schedule that?
Well, see, here's the problem, and I'll tell you why Jack might be a little bitter about this, because the reports is that Rory called Jack before the Masters and picked his brain about playing the Masters golf tournament and that golf course at Augusta National. And so Jack gave him some advice. Rory wins the tournament, and now
I'm skipping your tournament. But I'm not gonna. Maybe he called the landline and the answer machine didn't pick up.
Could be,
because I imagine Jack still has a landline.
He might have a landline. It's possible. But the bad news is this is a big tournament.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. The Memorial is one of those tournaments, and all the other great players will be there. Then you've got the Canadian Open next. So Rory says he's going to that, and I'm like, dude. Really?
Is it sponsored? Is there more money?
No. This got a $20 million purse in the Memorial. It's a big deal.
But maybe the appearance fee in Canada would make that up. Yeah, they get all the loonies they're going to pay.
I don't know.
I mean, because the other thing that Jack did say is when he played good, when he played bad, he always talked to the media. He doesn't understand these guys that don't want to talk to the media.
Well, I don't understand it either. I had this argument with my brother the other day, and he's like, my brother, he's a weirdo. All right? I wouldn't talk to the media either if I didn't play well. I'm like, well, dude, it's part of your job. I hate to break it to you. The reason you're making the money they're making is in large part to the media.
Mm-hmm.
You can talk to the media for 5 minutes. Goodness sake.
It's
I've never understood any athlete, for that matter, not talking to the media. Doesn't make any sense.
And again, it's as media types, it's not necessarily that we get pissed that they won't talk to us individually, but the media is the conduit to the fans. And to tell the whole story, you try to get the reaction. What went wrong here? What were you seeing? How do you and that's part of the story, whether you're reading a story, a written article, you're watching video clips, hearing them explain it, and that's part of journalism. We're in the opinion business doing a talk show. You don't have to come on here, but to talk to those that are reporting straight up facts, getting the full story is part of talking to the participants in the story. No different than yesterday here in San Antonio, the county commissioner's court talking about the deal. You know what you saw afterwards? Different commissioners were talking. Peter Sakai, the judge, talked to the media that was there so that those reporters can put together the full story. Here's what you did, and here's why. That's part of it. It's not that media people, although some do, get offended, oh, he didn't want to talk to me.
Some do.
But in reality, it's more talking to us so the job can be done to report to the fans.
Well, absolutely. And again, and a lot of people, that's not part of their job. It is a part of their job because you need those people watching, paying the money to come, the TV networks, the people that are watching at home. It is a part of your job. And so I do get a little bit out of shape, and certainly used to when I was in TV, if an athlete wouldn't talk to the media. I mean, it is a part of their job.
Yeah. Now there are some in today's world, they don't necessarily want to talk to the media because they can do their own podcast and get their own message out that way. And one guy, LeBron, has turned his little TV show into quite a big deal called The Shop. And coming to the Fanatics Fest in June, this thing happening in New York City, June 20th through the 22nd, Wemby is going to make an appearance on The Shop with LeBron, Tom Brady, Maverick Carter. I mean,
wow.
Dude, big for Wemby.
And it's going to take place right before the NBA draft in New York City.
Yep.
The draft is in Brooklyn this year, so makes sense, and it's going to be a big deal. But to include Wemby with names like LeBron and Tom Brady, I mean, it's a pretty big deal. I would imagine he's excited.
I would imagine he is, but I mean, we talked about earlier faces of the NBA. Now, Fanatics, a lot of sponsorship involved in all this kind of stuff, but Wemby is in that group. And you think about the bona fide superstar that guy is and is becoming. That's pretty high cotton. That's a big deal.
That's a big deal, and he should be excited about it. I'm not sure he's the face of the league yet.
No, he's not, but he's on his way.
Well, I hope so. I hope he does, and I hope we hang a bunch more banners inside whatever arena and whatever it's going to be called. I truly do. I wanted to set the record straight. I'm not actually pissed off at Charlie Woods. I just wish I could play golf like him.
You're pissed off.
What is the guy, 14 years old, 14, 15, maybe younger than that?
15-year-old kid.
Dude won a tournament and shot 15 under over 3 rounds.
Is that and that's not like, the golf scramble where a team turns in, 15 under.
Junior championship, and he beat the other guy, whoever came in second, by 6 shots. So here we go again. It's going to be Tiger Woods part 2, and Charlie. Charlie's a good player. I mean, we've seen him play. Obviously, since the moment he could walk, I'm sure Tiger stuck a golf club in his hands. But to have a teacher like Tiger Woods is pretty damn good. He's 16 years old, according to the Googles. So
crazy.
Good for him. We'll be talking about him on the PGA Tour before too long, I'm sure.
The AJGA tournament, the tailor-made invitational, according to Pledge. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I would say 5 under each day, average. I don't know how he did it, but 15 under over 3 rounds. That's pretty good. And you beat by 6 shots. The only guy I remember doing that, Tiger. Yeah, he used to do that.
Do they have special pin placements for kids?
No. Now, they're playing closer up tee boxes, obviously. But I would imagine at 16 years old Charlie can probably hit it a pretty good ways.
15 under.
15 under. 3 rounds. 15 under. That's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Hey, there's a lot of talk coming out of the SEC meetings there in Florida, and they're talking about playoff models and how it's going to get done and guardrails, and even Coach Sark talking about a story that he says isn't true. We'll talk about all of that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
I went through it, and they told me no one time. They would never tell me no. Oh, they will. Trust me.
Are you crazy? You think I'm an unfit cat parent?
You just had one die on you.
You son of a bitch.
The 2 cats you've had, one of them's dead.
How dare you?
You're batting 500.
How dare you?
I'm just saying.
You wouldn't bring up the time that a coyote ran off with your puppy?
That's been years ago.
But did it happen?
That was a puppy. I didn't say puppy. I'm just talking cat right here.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone.
Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
Celebrate youth sports with the San Antonio Brahmas. The Herd returns to the Alamo Dome Sunday, June 1st to take on the Arlington Renegades in their final home game of the season. Celebrate the future of sports as they highlight young athletes, players, and coaches in their Celebrate Youth Sports game. Bring the family and enjoy the fun with local community mascots, a halftime youth flag football showcase, and of course, Brahmas football. Get your tickets at UFLBrahmas.com. That's UFLBrahmas.com. Our town, our team, our herd.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
And Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu, is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley. You know our pets are beloved family members. But sadly, though, there are so many dogs that get euthanized every day due to the lack of funding. To give them a chance at adoption, I invite you to support Puppy Food Bank. Thanks to generous donors like you, all of the food sent to pet shelters from Puppy Food Bank never comes with a bill. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a generous, caring $15 donation every month. Your donation will absolutely save pet lives.
This is Andrew Monaco, and the Aggies play here. 94-1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
Pledge's in a good mood today.
He's just screwing with you.
He must be. It's all right, because, again, I have no idea who that is. No clue. Do you?
No.
He literally spelled it out for you.
He did, huh? Well, I wasn't paying attention. Pledge. That's James Pledger. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix is here, and this is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Dude, we had another storm last night.
We did?
Yeah, you didn't hear it?
Nope.
My gosh. And then I just looked at my little my phone here and got an alert that could be some more.
It's supposed to rain all week. I didn't. No storm woke me up last night. I don't know.
I was awakened. Well, my dogs get scared, right? So they try to crawl inside my mouth. I feel like sometimes they're like, trying to crawl in there and like.
Inside your mouth.
Well, you know what I'm saying. I'm obviously exaggerating.
No, are you?
Yeah. They try to get really close, and because they're afraid of the thunder.
See, my old dog, Princess, she used to try to crawl in you through your armpit. She would try to get so close, and I don't know if it was the storms that woke me up or the dog, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
But we've been dogless now for about 3 years, and I'm if the storm happens, I'm already asleep. I don't know about it.
Yeah, well.
The one on, what was it, Monday night? That was happening before he went to bed.
Yes.
So I was fully aware of that one.
Now, this one happened, it was early morning, but I know it because they do. They try to get as close as they possibly can, and it's crazy. But oh well. So if there's another one, it may be another sleepless night. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Imagine a lot of coaches, athletic directors. I don't know if they're having sleepless nights or not, but their day-to-day is so very different than what it used to be. In the SEC meetings that are going on, interesting, we've all heard, and everybody, myself included, has talked about the Texas Longhorns' $40 million roster.
Yeah.
Right? It's been reported. It seems out there. Now, I think we all say we don't really know, but it's not like Texas has denied it. Until now, maybe, sort of. This was Sark on the SEC network yesterday.
What's frustrating on that was it was a little bit of irresponsible reporting, right? It was one anonymous source said that that's what our roster was. I wish I had $40 million on our roster. We'd probably be a little bit better team than we are. But the idea to think that a lot of other schools aren't spending money to get players. I mean, it's the state of college football right now. It is what it is. And hey, we're fortunate. Don't get me wrong. We've got great support. Chris Del Conte, our athletic director, does a fantastic job and on our donors. And hey, people are excited. And we've been to the CFP 2 years in a row. And we've had, 20-something guys drafted the last 2 years. So it's been great. It's been a great run. I wish I had about another $15 million or so, though. Right. I might have a little better roster, but so
get two or three fullbacks for $15 million.
What's crazy about this day and age that you guys operate in, and I've watched this for 25 years now. This whole the evolution of Twitter and social media and podcast. One guy writes an article from an anonymous source that says that's what our roster is. Mm-hmm. Everybody ran with it, and I'm talking real publications ran with it, and it was like, that's what's going on at Texas. Nobody asked me one question.
All right, so, Sark, what is it? Now, he said he wished he had $15 million more, so is he at 25 and another 15 would get him to 40? Because none of these coaches actually want to publicize how much they are spending.
Well, that just goes back to the old days when they were paying him under the table or putting $100,000 in Johnny Manziel's mattress. I mean, that's the way it used to be. I never thought that I would want it to go back to those days, but I do.
Well, I mean, the reality is, Sark, if you saw that story starting to trend and everybody's running with it, you have Twitter. The UT staff has Twitter. You could have quote tweeted it and just called BS on it. You could have picked up the phone and called any number of reporters and said, you know what, that's not true. You don't just sit in the back and go, man, where are they coming up with this? That's not true. Except for it doesn't hurt your program to have everybody talking about you. And they're thinking you're spending $40 million, so Ohio State has to spend $41 and A&M has to come up with $45. That's the game that seems to be played right now.
I'm really surprised that a ruling hasn't come down on the whole revenue share thing because that hearing, I guess you call it, was back in April. And that judge still hasn't made a ruling, but I mean, we're getting to the point where it something's got to be done.
Well, that's like Mike Elko was talking about this. I mean, it's weird that they might change the rules in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I think obviously you've kind of worked through a whole bunch of different scenarios and situations, and again, it's challenging because these rules are supposedly going to be implemented if the House settlement goes through fairly quickly, and the season is also approaching fairly quickly, and so I couldn't imagine a professional sports league going into their off season, midway through their off season, changing the salary cap rules. But it appears as though that's what we're going to try to do, and so we'll kind of see how it works out.
Well, you got to hand it to Elko. He's pretty calm about it, and it's like, okay, there's nothing I can do. We're just going to have to deal with whatever happens coming down the line.
Well, the reality is, with that House settlement, while we expected a ruling by now, we all know that takes effect July 1. And it sounds like a lot of schools are just going to implement that anyway because they've made contracts with these players in anticipation of this. And Chris Del Conte on the Paul Feinbaum show talked about how the SEC coaches are, at least now, since they're all together, they're all kind of coming up with guardrails.
So what I think you're going to see is a number of teams looking to aggressively either upgrade their rosters or...
That wasn't it. Do we have the right cut pledge? Maybe. Well, see, with all the SEC coaches together, which is good because they're all coming up with stuff. You got it or no? Maybe. We'll see.
Today's landscape of
there we go.
NIL, the House case, all those things, we could, in my chair, could have a thoughtful conversation, but they're on the firing lines of what's actually taking place. And I think today, to hear from them and what is taking place in the industry, they may talk to me, but now they're with each other, and they're really sharing what is going on and why we need guardrails. And Steve Sarkisian is an incredible mind. But you got Kirby Smart. You got the SEC has incredible coaches on and off the field, and that meeting today. Hopefully, I can't wait to hear what they digest tomorrow. But something that every time comes out there just kind of surprises me that we haven't thought of because we're not a practitioner in that particular space. You're running an entire enterprise, and what they're dealing with right now is localized to them.
Dude, and what I love about what he just said there about guardrails. Steve Sarkisian, we saw him, 2 years ago?
2 or 3, yeah.
And he was talking about guardrails then, and we still have nothing.
We know where Sankey is, Greg Sankey, and he's got a lot of pull, obviously. The SEC has a lot of pull. One of the things that everybody's concerned about is some sort of equity. You wonder if the SEC can come up with a plan while others just follow suit. And it almost feels like that's what needs to happen. One of these conferences has to come up with a plan that seems to work for everybody. And if the SEC is doing it, more and more people will. The SEC can do it better than everybody else. They have more money than everybody else outside of maybe the Big Ten. But the Big Ten and the SEC seem to be working in lockstep. So I'd like to think if the SEC came up with a plan, the Big Ten would follow or vice versa. But kind of my impression of Greg Sankey, he's one of those, it's got to be his idea or it's the wrong one. So let the SEC come up with something. But it is interesting. You know, football is the one big revenue-generating sport. Football coaches can come up with something and help everybody. Trev Alberts, the A&M AD, was talking about that. And it's kind of surprising when you think about, we're talking football. Elko's talking football. Trev Alberts has to figure out how to pay every athletic program.
Our objective and goal is every single one of our programs. Obviously, we start with football. It's the only revenue generator that we have at Texas A&M.
Wow.
But we are sitting down and looking at every single one of our programs and saying, today, A, we're going to keep all of our programs. B, we're going to create a financial strategy that every one of our programs can win at the highest level through resources. And that doesn't guarantee you're going to win, right? But we're going to fund them in a way that they can be successful.
Boy, just what he said there is amazing to me because a lot of schools, now their basketball program is starting to make some money. At A&M, apparently not yet. But that football program and the crowds that they get each and every Saturday is incredible. And I know it generates a ton of money.
But you have to pay everybody.
Right.
Now, the other day we saw where the University of Oklahoma was laying off about 15 people from their athletic department to try to generate some revenue. At what point do some of these non-revenue generating sports, which kind of sounds like all of them but football in most cases, but for A&M to say football is the only one that generates revenue, and we use UTSA as an example all the time, at what point to make this work do some of these sports get cut? We've seen some smaller schools cut various sports programs, but you wonder if bigger sports, especially with travel costs, I wonder when they start getting cut. Sports are expensive to play.
Absolutely. I mean, well, keep it with UTSA. Their baseball program this year, very successful. They're the number 2 seed in the Austin Regional beginning this weekend. And I don't know how much revenue that program generates. I would assume it's not much.
I'm assuming they don't generate much. How much does it cost to actually fund them?
Or that. How much does it cost?
And then when they're good like this, I'm probably not far off base saying, they probably didn't budget this weekend in Austin. They probably didn't budget, if they do well in Austin, a trip to Omaha. So they've got to find that kind of money, right? It's just like when you win the, I don't know. I mean, but I'm guessing it cost them more money. But a weekend in Austin probably wasn't in the original plans, considering they don't go very often. Or maybe they do budget for it, and then when they don't make it, then they get a little bit of a surplus.
What are you talking about? Maybe that's the case. I don't know the answer to that, but what do you figure? 22 ball players, maybe 25, and with coaches and equipment folks. I mean, that's a pretty large hotel bill, I would think.
Even if you're going 2 to a room, 4 to a room,
sure,
that's still a lot. Now, I don't know. Does the NCAA pay for that? I have no idea how any of that works.
Good question.
But, we have seen teams, not UTSA, but like when they've made NCAA tournaments trying to raise money so they can go because it wasn't in the budget for them to do that.
Well, that's interesting, and I wish them all the best. I mean, they're in a tough region, obviously, with Texas and Kansas State there. So we'll see what happens, but certainly wish them the best of luck. They take on Kansas State, by the way, Friday at 6 o'clock up there in Austin. So ought to be fun, and good luck to them. But this whole college football thing, we're going to be talking a lot about it because obviously they're all meeting in Florida, the SEC. That's where all of this is coming from. The Big Ten's going to have something to say about it, and already the Big 12 and the ACC are feeling like doormats at this point in time. So I think they're going to have something to say about it, and they'll whine and cry. So we'll see what happens, but a lot more coming from college football. I don't think there's any question about it. Speaking of paying people, we talk about Micah Parsons all the time and how we think it should be handled and what Jerry should be doing and all of this kind of stuff. But we heard from J.J. Watt today on a player's perspective on how that makes the rest of the locker room feel and all the things the players are thinking. We'll hear from JJ coming up as we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Injuries happen, and when they do, you can skip the ER and get straight to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, strains, conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday. They have on-site x-ray casting and bracing. Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, but best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. So if you're injured, get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic. Learn more online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle's closeout season, did we say goodbye to a basketball team and a hockey team? We'll talk about the big game between the Knicks and the Pacers, news out of the NFL, and AJ's back. Oh, what a party it'll be. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Nigel, why does our office look like a casino?
I call it employee engagement.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to hit the jackpot on comfort with Quarter Moon's Lucky 7's AC tune-up. It's just $77 for a complete 7-point inspection.
Excuse me, boss man. I've got a good feeling about that slot machine next to your desk. Joel, I couldn't get an advance on next week's check, could I?
Call Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC and Heating for your Lucky 7's AC tune-up. Just $77. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074EM16004.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED. but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Have you ever closed your eyes and pictured owning a piece of the Texas coast? Ocean views, world-class fishing off of Matagorda Bay? Well, dream no more. Saturday, June 7th, Driftwood Shores at Wolf Point is dropping the final release of these incredible coastal properties. We're talking 1 to 3 acre properties, all with ocean access for just $49.9. You heard correctly, $49.9. This gated community has a waterfront resort-style pool and cabana, your own boat slip and launch, even boat and RV storage, plus paved roads and underground utilities. It's the whole shebang. It's all happening Saturday, June 7th. 1 to 3 acres with ocean access, just $49.9. Yes, just $49.9. Call now for your private tour at 210-853-0389. Excellent financing. Don't wait another minute. Call 832-662-0389. Texas coastal land has never been this affordable.
The water coming in and out of your home is like music. Here in San Antonio in the Hill Country, it is hard. Now that's hard. At the same time, those that know have a Connecticut quality water softener and enjoy this. Smooth, soft, pure, clean water. The difference is astounding. Hard water, soft water. If you don't have a Connecticut water softener in your home, you're basically inviting destructive hard water to beat up your appliances, hot water heater, and every pipe in your home. And your coffee maker, hard water damages it too. Call me for a free home water evaluation at 656 Pure.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio in the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Connecticut is simply the very best water softener you can buy, and that's why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own. Don't live with. Live with.
656 Pure, Connecticut.
License number 38961.
There's some music I can get behind. Pledge, I get you going on this hump day. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday afternoon here in San Antonio. Not sure what the weather looks like outside, but my handy-dandy weather app says there's rain on the way. Not sure about that. We have no windows in here, but that's okay. Jason Minix, I'm Joe Reinagle, James Pledger in there, and this is the Blitz on San Antonio Sports Star.
Not raining yet, at least not at my house.
Okay.
I was just checking the cameras to see if the Quarter Moon Plumbing dude was still at the house, and
is he still there?
He's still there.
It's probably a new water heater, buddy.
No, I texted my wife. She's like, no, they were able to do something, I don't know, a little, because I couldn't, we had no hot water today. So I tried the relight the pilot, because you go and you check, and it's the pilot lights out. All right, can I get it restarted? Nope. So there's some little fuse on there that apparently needed to be changed.
Nice. Well, that's good that they didn't come in and say, well, we just need a new one. But that's Quarter Moon for you. That's they do a great job.
Exactly. So
I feel like I'm a big donkey when my pilot light went out, and I didn't know that that's what it was.
Yeah.
Call the guy out, and it's like, oh, dude, your pilot light here, I'll light it for you. And
yeah.
Worked just fine.
Well, I was sitting there, I was reading the instructions. Same kind of thing. I'm not a mechanically inclined dude.
No.
But you read the instructions. Turn it off. Cool. Turn it to the pilot light. Hold that button for 90 seconds.
Yeah.
If it doesn't light, call the plumber. I mean, it kind of says that. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, and I don't want to do that. Anytime I got to deal with gas or whatever it is, I think it's natural gas or electricity, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Although lighting a pilot light, I think, is something that we should all be able to do.
Well, we should.
But when it doesn't work exactly the way it's supposed to and instructed to, and you don't really know, at that point you start messing with it. Because it even says on the, when you're reading the deal on the water heater, if you smell a lot of gas, and I'm like, I don't smell any gas. So there was one, I don't know, some sort of component that apparently had failed. But good news is apparently I'm not buying a whole new water heater.
And that's a good thing. I don't know what water heaters are, what, $800 or $900?
If not more, I don't know. But so a couple $100 for the dude to come out and do that. sure, you feel like an idiot, but same time, I didn't blow up the house.
Dude, I've stopped feeling like an idiot. I just is it fixed? You laugh at me when you go back to the shop. I don't care. But I'm happy it's fixed. That's all I want to know about.
Well, that's it. I tried. It didn't succeed.
Yep.
And it didn't cost me more money. I have spent more money trying to fix things, and then the dude's got to fix what I broke, and then whatever the original problem was over time.
Exactly.
So
right.
I tried. Didn't work. Called the dude. I'll be there. Round 3. He was. I'm good.
Dude, when I got to call Hill Electric to change a light bulb, I'm that's pretty bad, but I couldn't change the damn light bulb. And this is not a normal light bulb, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the one underneath where your stove is and the light, and you got to kind of push it up there and turn it. And I'm like, well, they're coming out anyway. I said, dude, can you fix that?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the Handyman Show.
No, it's not. If you're looking for tips on how to fix things, you came to the wrong place.
No, but if you need a guy, I got a guy.
Yes.
I got a guy for everything.
Yes.
You need something done, I know a guy. I got a guy.
And that's a good thing.
Yes.
I like being able to make a phone call and just do that.
The sad part is it does cost a little bit of money. Sometimes you don't have it, and you wish you could learn how to fix things to save that kind of money. J.J. Watt is not in that boat.
No, he's got plenty.
Yeah, he can pay for whatever. But it's interesting because J.J. Watt was on Pat McAfee, and they got into a really interesting conversation about players' money. And for the most part, most people don't like to talk about their money publicly, including pro athletes, except for everybody knows what they're making. In our business, a lot of us are under contract. Most don't know, coworkers don't know when contracts are up or any of that kind of stuff. But in the NFL, everybody knows everybody's business, right?
Sure.
And so I do think because of that, it's interesting when you get a player perspective, because most players don't want to talk about finances publicly because that's somebody else's money. And contract time is the one time every player will say, this is when you can be selfish. This is when you're not a team player. If you're holding out, yeah, it sucks you're not at practice, but I get it because it's the business side of football. And, they talk about what's going on in Cincinnati with Trey Hendrickson, but apply this to Micah Parsons when owners want to kick contracts down the road.
I've long been a big believer that ownership and front offices obviously treat this like a business, but they do not like it when the players flip the script on them and treat it like a business back. Taking care of your guys earlier does a few things for you. Number one, it gets them locked in at a lower price in the long run. I mean, you look at what prices are doing every single year, you get them locked in at a lower price. Number two, you're keeping them happy. Because even now, let's say, look at Trey Hendrickson's situation. Let's say they pay him now. Now there's all this resentment, there's all this animosity, and yeah, $40 million or whatever it is cures a whole lot of that, and he's going to act like everything is great and everything is wonderful. But you just went through a whole bunch of time where there was some disrespect, where there's some hurt feelings, and now you're going to go back into a building and act like everything's okay. If you take care of things early, especially when players want to take care of things earlier and say that they'll take less money to take care of things earlier because it sets themselves up long-term financially, do that. Because if you don't do that, that's when the problems start to arise, and now all of a sudden you say, hey, we have to kick this can down the road because of the way everything's working out. You kick the can down the road, the can gets a whole lot bigger. And then the player says, well, the can's a lot bigger now, fill it up. And you don't want to fill it up because you say, well, we have to pay all these other guys, we have to take care of these other things. It's like, well, I wanted to fill the can way back down here when it was a little soup can. Now we got ourselves a garbage pail.
I love J.J. Watt. But do you really think any owner gives a damn whether a player's feelings are hurt? I mean, honestly, I just pay if C.D. Lamb, was his feelings hurt until he got whatever he got, $35 million a year or whatever the contract is? I mean, it is a business. And all the people are going to be upset. Owners are going to be upset because the player doesn't show up because they're holding out. I get that. Players are going to be upset because they're not getting their money. Look, I'm going to kiss you right on your behind if you're going to pay me $40 million a year. I don't care how much you disrespected me. I could care less how much you disrespected me. You eventually pay me $40 million a year. Mwah.
Well, and I do think that's part of Jerry's philosophy. You can be mad at me, but you're gonna kiss me on the cheek when you get that contract, even if there's some bad blood. I get the emotional side of it and feelings hurt. I know where you're coming from, but you tell me you love me and I'm valuable, but at contract time you don't want to pay me what the market says that I'm worth. I get the human side of it. Then you look inside the locker room. How does that play inside the culture of the locker room?
You're sending a message to the locker room. If you handle your business, if you do your job, we will take care of you. I look at the Texans with Nico Collins. His deal right now looks like one of the best deals in football because they took care of him early. He played well. They saw what he was doing. They took care of him early. Now they take care of Derek Stingley early. Next year, they're going to have to worry about C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson. They'll take care of them. It's just one of those things where if you show the locker room, do things the right way, we'll pay you, all of a sudden your culture handles itself. Because nobody in the locker room's in a corner talking about, I wonder if they're going to pay him. Are they not going to pay him? Everybody's just like, oh, wow, this place treats us good. We should treat them good in return.
What is I guess I get that. Look, keep in mind, this is coming from a player's perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got to take that with a grain of salt, and I get that. You want everybody feeling good and all of that stuff. And I just bring it back down to everyday people. I mean, they could walk through the door right now and say, you know what? Instead of a sports show, it's going to turn into a jazz station. See you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, that could happen at any time. What am I going to say? Oh, well, you're disrespecting me. My feelings are hurt. I mean, seriously.
I mean, the reality is, would your feelings not be hurt if everybody here got a raise but you? I think that's what he's saying. I mean, if you're looking at everyday life, everyday bonuses, and you work at a company that gives you raises or gives you bonuses, you probably feel good about working there. If you're at a place that you know that you're not getting raises, what are you doing? You're looking for the next job that's going to pay you a little bit more money.
Absolutely.
Companies that tend to pay a little bit better, treat their employees, they have longevity. That's in every workforce, and you're more excited to come to work at a place like that. So I get JJ's coming from an NFL locker room, but I think you could take all of that and apply that fairly easily to everyday workplaces. I mean,
well, everybody feels better about where they go to work if you feel like you're respected. If you're doing your job, you probably don't have anything to worry about. Although I just go back to my old job. There are a lot of people that were there a long time that just got laid off. I mean, so it happens. And look, if owners...
And it sucks.
Well, sure it sucks. It absolutely sucks. The problem is, and what JJ said after this, what I found fascinating was he talked about the difference between cash-rich and cash-poor owners.
It's also a conversation that we've seen start to bubble up a little bit about cash-rich ownership versus cash-poor ownership and who has the ability to pay big money up front and lay it out over void years on the back end versus other owners who can't afford to put that money in escrow at the moment right now. That's a conversation I know that they're seeing at the league level that they're trying to start to find a solution to, because there's teams and there's ownership that has the ability to do some incredible things from a contract standpoint that other teams literally can't do.
And that's a great point, because just think about it. With all the guaranteed money that we hear, Brock Purdy just got paid. It was $185 million guaranteed. The 49ers have to put that in an escrow account.
Yep.
They have to come up with every penny of that. So if you're an ownership group that doesn't have that amount of cash on hand, which could be what we'll take Cincinnati's issue with Trey Hendrickson. They just paid both of their wide receivers and had to put a ton of money into an escrow account. Maybe they can't do it, or they're waiting. Maybe that's what Jerry's waiting for. Who knows?
Well, see, and I think with Jerry, now, Jerry, you don't know what kind of available cash that he has.
Right.
But I know I would assume for Jerry, because he's got so many different businesses that generate a ton of money, that coming up with that kind of cash is one thing. But, Jerry uses his credit card analogy far too often. He would rather have that money in his account for another 3 or 4 months before it goes into that escrow account, because that's going to make him more money. Because the minute he puts it into that escrow, it stops making him the same kind of money. Now, I don't know if it goes into the escrow, whatever interest is made on that, where that money goes, right? I have no idea if that goes back to Jerry or Do you put a little less in, and based on whatever interest rates, it will grow into that guarantee? I don't know, but I know that money's leaving his current account going into another. And, you know, I just feel so often, because Jerry always gets these deals done, it might cost him a little bit more, feels like it costs him a little bit more, but while that 100 and whatever for Dak was in his account and not in that escrow account, how much money did he make on that? Was it really the difference? Is he losing? Because Jerry thinks he won that Dak deal, right? And maybe there are some ways that mathematically he did that don't count for salary cap. But, I mean, Jerry was very comfortable with how he handled Dak and still seems to be. And he did it with CeeDee Lamb, and he's doing it right now with Micah Parsons. And you just wonder how much that really factors in, because the timing of the signing, and Jerry has brought this up, alluded to it a number of times. I can do it at any point, but it's when I want to do it. Kind of makes you wonder.
Well, when you think about having $150 million in a bank that's earning interest, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. So if you've got it in your account and it's earning money for you, then I could see where Jerry's talking about this. You know, we all just think all these NFL teams and owners are just, you know, they've got cash, you know, in a closet somewhere. They just walk in a safe and pull this out. I'm not sure if that's the case with Jerry Jones or anybody else, but it's we don't think about that. And when you start to think about how they pay these guys, and you've got to put that money in an escrow account, it's a hell of a lot of money to call the banker up and say, all right, we just signed Dak Prescott and we guaranteed him X number of dollars. Would you transfer that over? I mean, I don't care who you are, how rich you are. You transfer over $200 million, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So, God, we should have played football, Minix, or done sports of some sort. Or
I mean, there was a time in my life I thought I was, you know, a tall 5'7" going to the NFL.
Yeah, well, me too.
And I shredded my knees and thought sports casting was better than coaching.
You know, in my backyard, I played in the Super Bowl many times.
Mm-hmm.
I did. It was incredible. It was nice. Hey, we do have some tickets to give away for the Missions game on June 3rd against the Midland Rockhounds. Of course, it is $2 Tuesday, presented by San Antonio Sports Star. If you want to go see the Missions on June 3rd, which is next Tuesday, well, all you have to do is pick a number, Minix.
Caller 11.
Caller 11 at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Missions taking on the Midland Rockhounds June 3rd. Caller number 11, you win. The San Antonio Sports Star, the Blitz on 94.1.
Riding 1604 with the Blitz.
On the road again. Just can't wait to get on.
Secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years and successfully represented thousands of injured Texans. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
Hey guys, are you or your spouse looking to lose weight in time for summer? Head over to any Synergenics or Low T Center for prescription weight loss treatment options. If you qualify for treatment, you can get a free B12 shot when you start. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-298-2007. That's 800-298-2007. 800-298-2007.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-961-5544. 800-961-5544.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Astros played a little baseball this afternoon, and they come out victorious, knocking off the A's 5-3. Indiana Pacers just 1 win away from the NBA Finals. They beat the Knicks last night. Tyrese Halliburton, he had a triple-double, no turnovers. Game 5 tomorrow night in New York. Tonight, though, we have Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. T-Wolves, must-win game for them in Oklahoma City. Tip-off there set for 7:30. We get you started right here at 7.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the 3rd time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
What day is it, Pledge?
Hump day!
Hump day!
Hump day!
Yeah. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. And thanks for spending some time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel, Jason Minix, James Pledger. The whole group is here today, having a great time.
Guess what day it is?
How about those Astros?
How about them? They've been pretty hot lately, haven't they?
Yeah, they just swept the A's.
Okay, whoop-de-doo.
Well, I mean, they're 30-25. Game back of Seattle. Took the weekend series against the Mariners. Rangers at 27-29.
Boy, that's not good.
What's not good?
27-29.
2 games under.
Well, that's okay. I mean
they're. Cardinals are 31-24.
pretty good schedule there. Pretty good record.
It is pretty good record
Not
for
bad.
being in the Central. Chasing those Cubs.
Oh, yeah, let's see here. I think the Cardinals will be in first place in the American League West right now.
Well, they would have a very different schedule, probably a very different record, but we'll see how good they are this weekend against an American League West team.
Can't wait to see that. Can't wait to see. Are you kidding me? Cardinals already showed the Rangers in, 2011? Winning that World Series against that Texas ball club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody left from that 2011 squad is going to be playing this weekend in Arlington.
The Cardinals are playing well. The Cubs are playing absolutely well, and I hate that, and with a passion.
Mm-hmm.
But they are. Cards are 3 back. But, no, it's going to be fun. We'll be up there doing the Blitz live from Globe Life Field on Friday. And then we're going to stick around and watch a little baseball between the Cards and the Rangers.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I can't wait.
Going to the game Friday, then going to the game Saturday.
Yep.
If you're up in Arlington, if you want tickets, hit us up on the socials and let us know. Pledge is giving us the look because he doesn't get to go on the field trip.
That's too bad, Pledge. He could probably get up there on Saturday, couldn't he?
I mean, no.
That's too bad, Pledge. You know, that's poor
You're
Pledge.
going to give up your ticket so Pledge can go?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all. Sorry, I love you, Pledge, but not that much. You know, it's too bad because I feel bad for him sometimes.
Do you?
Well, he's got to stay in his little cage there. He never gets out. We get to go places and do things, and then Pledge just lives in the glass box of fun.
You know, he went to Oxnard once.
Yeah?
And we'll never do that
They
again.
couldn't let him out again.
We'll
That
never
was
do
it,
that
huh?
again.
Too much time at the rudder room is my guess. No one Pledge. Well, that's too bad, Pledge. Somebody's got to come back here and do the heavy lifting. You know, Minix and I, we just yak.
Mm-hmm.
Pledge has got to push all the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's all right.
Is that what it is?
I guess.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, this weekend's going to be fun. Dude, I already have people asking me about dates in August.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know if we can say exactly what it is, but I think there's a trip west.
Yes.
In August. And,
well, we haven't officially announced yet, but August 20th to the 24th.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: like the promo code Blitz, promo code at Circle Las Vegas, isn't active yet. But if you wanted to buy your plane tickets,
yeah, you could probably do that.
That's done.
Yeah. So already people asking. So
The
it's going to be a fun trip.
The other one that we're not supposed to talk about yet is the Cowboys Raiders Monday night game.
Ooh, yeah.
In Las Vegas. We will
Wow.
be at Circa for that as well.
Wow, I better start saving my pennies.
At least I will be. Reinagel is TBD because somehow he's got to deal with a football season wedding.
Dude, that's unbelievable. Can you believe the NFL did that to me?
I don't think it's the NFL's fault.
Luckily,
I blame the daughter here deciding on a football season wedding.
Luckily, that game's on a Monday night, so
Yeah.
I may be okay with that. Just have to leave early. But, yeah, look, I wasn't happy about it when the date was planned. But, I was kind of outvoted. They voted me off that island really quick.
Well,
so.
and that happens. Now, I don't know if we're going out Thursday or Friday or, staying Monday. And I don't, those details with Circa are still being worked out. But we will be at Circa Las Vegas around the Cowboys-Raiders Monday night game.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, just the buzz around that game in Las Vegas will be there. I expect the Raiders to be a little bit better this year. I think Pete Carroll will make a difference. Geno Smith will make a difference. They really didn't have a quarterback last year. Now they have one.
And they got a running back.
So I think the Raiders might be a little bit better this year than they were last. So that could be a pretty good football game.
And again, it's the Cowboys on a Monday night. And what time is the wedding? Is it like a 2 o'clock wedding?
What's on Saturday?
Yeah, I know, but
I don't know what time it is. I have no idea.
Because then you get like an 8 o'clock flight that night.
Well, it's possible. Yeah, I'd like to stay married myself, though. And
honey, it's work.
Don't want to celebrate a a wedding and then a divorce at the same time.
I think you'll be fine.
I'll be fine.
I mean, because all the attention will not be on you.
Yeah, maybe I just sneak out of there.
I mean, you realize it's not your day.
No, I do realize that it's not my day, and I'm fine with that. And then the schedule comes out, and I'm going, you got to be kidding me. Could have been any other place.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all right. We'll figure it out and see what happens. But I've been waiting a long time, man. Courtney and Garrett have been dating for 20 years.
And they picked that weekend.
And that exactly. Well, the NFL, they picked it first. Then the NFL comes along and does that to me.
What I don't get, even I saw Rob's son Jack the other day. And old Jack Thompson, he's had a hell of a month.
Yeah.
Got engaged, graduated college. And I see him the other day at Lion and Rose, and when's the wedding? It was October of next year. And I was like, of next year?
Wow.
Wow. Well, you got to pick the venue and all that. And it's football season wedding. You have no idea what the Aggie schedule is going to be like.
No clue.
Yeah.
No clue.
And, Jack was dancing, and his lovely fiance was, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because that's when she wants to get
that's
married.
what happens. And women, they don't really care that it's a football season wedding. And moms have said women don't give a damn either. So
I know it. Well, and then my kid I know is going to want an October wedding when and if, and it's no, dude, if I'm paying for it, I mean we'll have to look at schedules, bye weeks, all of that kind of stuff.
Wow.
I don't get football season weddings. They should be outlawed.
Dude, I totally agree with that, but it happens.
Jack's well, we can have a TV at the reception.
Yeah. I did go to a wedding like that last year, and the reception, there were TV screens.
Mm-hmm.
It was awesome because there were a bunch of Aggies there, and the Aggies were playing that night.
Well, same with Erica's friend Kerbo. The Kerbinator got married, but see, her dad's a Georgia fan, and the date was the Georgia bye week. Yeah, she went to Alabama, he went to Michigan, and it was on the Georgia bye week. But and then everybody at the wedding receptions on their phones watching games.
Yeah. Exactly.
Technology is great.
It is fantastic. There's no doubt about it. We got to take a break, Minix, but when we come back, I see a tweet here that I'm going to have to read to you because I'm going to have to educate somebody on how teams are built, particularly like the Pacers and the Thunder. I think some people just think that the Thunder and the Pacers were just completely homegrown. And that was not the case. So an education coming up. Plus, we got a big basketball game tonight. One of those said teams could wrap things up and head off to the NBA Finals. We're going to talk some NBA basketball, some Spurs basketball when we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I tell you all the time, if you're having issues with your plumbing or your AC, there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899. This morning, my wife gets up way earlier than I do. She said it was a kind of a cold shower. I took a cold shower and realized hot water heater wasn't working properly. Couldn't fix it myself. So what did I do? Called Quartermoon. Dialed 210-651-5899. They came out. They fixed the water heater because that is what they do. Now, cold showers, worst case scenario. You're dealing with any kind of plumbing issues. Quartermoon is going to get you taken care of. Big job, small job, residential or commercial. They are full service. They have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission. Sales reps, they'll provide estimates and second opinions. And Quartermoon, they've got a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. Now, as far as getting your AC tuned up and ready for the hot summer months, take advantage of their Lucky Sevens AC tune-up for just $77. Hit the jackpot with comfort and have them come out and do a 7-point AC inspection that keeps your system running cool and smooth this summer. Call Quartermoon. Plumbing issues, AC issues, get that AC tuned up. 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Imagine selling your home and getting paid before and after it sells. It's like getting paid twice. Jason Minix here from San Antonio Sports Star. You can do that with Orchard. Orchard puts cash into your pocket so you can buy your dream home. Then your Orchard experts prepare and market your old home, including repairs, showings, even price-boosting upgrades. And here's why Orchard's the best. When your home sells for more, which happens 9 times out of 10, you get that cash too. It's almost like getting paid twice. That's why Orchard is the smarter, faster, hassle-free way to sell your home. Orchard can unlock cash from your old home to use on your new home. That's payday 1. Then you buy your new place, and once you're in, Orchard sells your old home for top dollar. You get that money too. Boom, payday 2. Learn how you can make more with Orchard. Start with your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Hey, San Antonio, multiple tours overseas, years of protecting the country, it all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training toward our low-cost degree and certificate programs. We call that credit where credit is due. For over 75 years, our dedicated success coaches have been helping service members achieve their goals. Get started with local support and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
San Antonio, Austin, and St. Louis. CordellCordell.com.
At Progressive, we understand the bond you have with your boat. It's why people name theirs.
I named my boat Sure Don't. Get it? The other day when my friend said, "Hey Larry, you want to head back in? It looks like it might rain." I said, "Sure don't." I guess they didn't get it because they didn't laugh.
Whatever you call your boat, protect it by insuring it with Progressive, America's #1 boat insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 rating based on boat market share data from ratefilings.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
So how should the Spurs get back to playoff prominence? That always seems to be a big debate. Everybody seems to think that they should just stay put and let their players develop and everything will be hunky-dory. It's not the way to do it. Just absolutely not the way to do it. It's not how teams are built. It is a combination of veteran players and draft picks, and that's the way they do it. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Jason, what do you think?
Well, I mean, the reality is I think in San Antonio we have a very skewed version of how it needs to be done because we used to celebrate built, not bought. And that especially goes back to 2013 and 14 playing the Miami Heat in the NBA Finals. But even those teams, while, yes, we celebrated our draft picks of Tim, Tony, and Manu, we tend to forget guys that we were able to bring in from other places. Let's go back to the early 2000s. Bringing in veteran key role players, whether you're talking about a Steve Kerr, a Robert Ory, a Brent Barry, Bruce Bowen, whose numbers in the rafters right now. I mean, there's a lot of those guys. So but I get why Spurs fans always like to talk about the homegrown talent. Not everybody you draft is going to turn out to be what you hope they would be. So sometimes you have to move them. Now, Indiana and Oklahoma City are about to play in the NBA Finals. They followed a similar yet very different path. Sam Presti and OKC, very deliberate, and made a lot of big moves. Because you think at one point, they had Kevin Durant, James Harden. They Russell Westbrook. They had some players. All of those guys gone. Paul George, trading away that dude, got them a slew of picks. But their best player, the MVP, wasn't drafted by Oklahoma City. He came over in a trade.
Absolutely.
In SGA. Now, sure, they drafted Chet Holmgren. They've drafted some guys. Tyrese Halliburton. The Pacers didn't draft him. He was in Sacramento. Pascal Siakam, I believe, he was traded from Toronto.
That's correct.
Obi Toppin, I believe, he came from the New York Knicks. Right?
That is correct.
Now, they have drafted some good players.
Sure.
It's a combination. But all these draft picks that the Spurs have assembled, they're not collecting those to go draft what they hope are future Hall of Famers. That collection of picks, sure, there's going to be some picks used and guys that will wear Spurs jerseys, but that's capital to be able to go make a trade for the player you think is going to come and fit the bill. And they have additional picks because, quite frankly, they got De'Aaron Fox for a hell of a lot cheaper than I thought they would.
No, absolutely. And look, I get it, because the Spurs fans fall in love with players. That's just what we do around here. So everybody's in love with these players and think that they're going to develop. Look, I've been the biggest Devin Vassell fan that there is. And this guy's going to be it. He's going to be the guy. And I'm just not sure. I'm not sure when that is and how patient do you need to be with somebody like that. We talk about Keldon Johnson. I think Keldon Johnson's stock rose in my mind because he was coming off the bench and he played pretty well this year. But I just think that the Spurs have some glaring needs. And they need shooters. They need guys that can score and space the floor. And they also need some protection for Wemby, so Wemby can do what Wemby does and get out and well, he's a unicorn, right? He can do it all.
Yeah.
There are some glaring needs, and they need some guys that can play defense. And as far as I can see, they don't have any of those guys unless his name is Wemby.
I'm gonna guess in Oklahoma City that everybody that put on their uniform, those fans in OKC loved those players. And Sam Presti made some ballsy moves, trading away a lot of big-name guys. You think about some of the guys that played in Oklahoma City that got traded away and the slew of picks that Sam Presti was able to get. Now, nothing ridiculous like what Nico Harrison did in Dallas this year with Luka going bye-bye, but the reality is Sam Presti probably took a lot of heat in Oklahoma City when he traded away some superstar talent. And probably at the time, people questioned whether he knew what he was doing, although they're very Spur-like, so trust the process. They're going to do it. Very deliberate in how they have built this team, making tough decisions, getting rid of fan favorites because of what you're going to get in return. And you're seeing that payoff. They're about to go win their first NBA championship. What I think the Spurs need to do, this collection of picks they have, even number 2 this year. And I know there's people out there that love Dylan Harper. But if you can turn that number 2 pick into a veteran guy that is a fit for what the Spurs need right now to win right now, to be able to compete with Oklahoma City. Now, I don't know how quickly they can be as good as OKC, but can they do a move this offseason, and I think they can, to where they can compete with Oklahoma City? Because it looks like Oklahoma City is built right now for a good 4, 5, 6 year stretch, and they've still got a ton of picks, so they're only going to get better. So you've got to build this Spurs team to be able to knock off Oklahoma City.
Well, sure, and then you've got Houston that's out there that's only going to get better. In the West is only going to get stronger. So if you want to sit here and wait for Devin Vassell to get better, or Keldon Johnson to get better, or Jeremy Sohan to get better, I don't know. I don't know what we're waiting for. With the draft capital, you just want to keep those picks in a closet and just keep them there. I mean, I don't want to do that. I want to use them. And get some players in here like a Cam Johnson. I heard a Jaren Jackson Jr. A rumor that could be coming to San. You talk about a defensive player that can play. There's another one. I mean, there are guys out there not named Giannis and Kevin Durant that the Spurs can acquire and bring in here and make this team better immediately.
And again, it's been 7 years since they've been in the postseason. Playoffs. That's the next step. But honestly, and I know I'm greedy, but I feel like I speak for a lot of Spurs fans. I want the Spurs in the mix. You know, will I be mad if we don't win a title next year? Probably, especially if we get to the second round or the Western Conference Finals. But I look at what Oklahoma City has done. They've advanced. Now it looks like they're about to take that next step. You know, Minnesota is a team that doesn't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon, yet they've got back-to-back years in the Western Conference Finals. I want the Spurs to be in that mix. And though the West isn't easy, and it's not getting any easier. And again, I think Oklahoma City is the top of the mountain right now in the West, which is kind of weird to say because we're not talking about L.A. teams. And, you know, I don't know what to think of Dallas, but they're going to get Cooper Flagg, and, you know, when and if they get healthy. But the West is competitive. Can the Spurs have a competitive team that can compete with the best in the West? Not, all right, let's get to the first round and say we've taken the next step. I'm done with that.
I'm done with it too, and I just think that they've got to. And look, I'm encouraged by the De'Aaron Fox trade, and I think the Spurs realize what they've got to do. And if it takes losing some players that people love, that have embraced this community, and I get it. Look, players like it here. When they come here, they're drafted here, they like it here. They do. And you just know that by all the players that have retired and still live here. Everybody says nobody wants to come play in San Antonio. That's just BS, especially now that you've got a guy named Victor Wembanyama. Players are going to want to come play for this guy because they know how good he can be, and he's going to help their game and help them get better. There are guys out there the Spurs can find, like they did with De'Aaron Fox, that can come in here and you can build a team and build it quickly. Now, again, you mentioned it, Jason. The West is going to be tough. Now, I'm certainly not going to be upset if the Spurs make some moves and they get into the playoffs and they can't make that championship run. I'm okay as long as this team is building. I've kind of come off the Giannis and Kevin Durant fantasy because I just think that both of those things would be way too expensive, and the Spurs could do it smarter and better than that by adding 2 or 3 players instead of just that one. And I think it's going to be an aggressive offseason for the San Antonio Spurs, and we may lose some guys that we have come to love.
And again, I mean, when Devin Vassell was drafted, things have changed. When Keldon Johnson was drafted, and at this point, I think both of those guys have been around long enough. They are what they are. And do they actually still fit? Now, Keldon, his role coming off the bench, I think he's earned a spot. But if you have to move a Keldon Johnson to get better, then you move a Keldon Johnson. Same with the Devin Vassell. I don't want to see Devin Vassell leave, but bye-bye. Especially when you look at what's getting better. And again, you know, a weird tweet, Thunder and Pacers are on the verge of the finals from growing and developing talent. That's not necessarily true.
That's not true.
You know, now, have they made some trades and developed their homegrown talent with those stars? It's not like they bought a team and went immediately to the NBA Finals or the conference finals. You know, those groups have been together for a couple years. So I could see where, you know, if you're not doing any research and I think, man, Hallie's been there for a long time. He didn't start there. You know, I could see that, but sometimes it's addition by subtraction, and the Spurs are going to do what they need to do to make this team better and be a playoff competitive team, not just a playoff caliber team, a playoff competitive team.
There's no question about it. And I feel confident the Spurs are going to make some moves. And it might piss a lot of people off, and that's fine. But I think they need to be aggressive. It is time to be aggressive because you have your foundation in Fox, Castle, and Wemby. And it's time to build around those guys and bring some veteran players in here that are going to make them better and make this Spurs team better a hell of a lot quicker. A lot more Spurs talk. We can do that coming up. But when we come back, we're going to talk some Brahmas football. San Antonio Brahmas football, they've one game left on the schedule.
One game this Sunday.
Went by so fast, didn't it? And it's an 11 o'clock game in the Alamo Dome, national television on ABC.
Yeah,
not bad at all.
Got a coach coming up. Might be Wade, might be Peyton.
Oh, so it's a surprise.
If technology can be figured out, we might actually talk to Wade.
All
if
right.
not, it might be Peyton.
All right.
I have no idea. There's all kinds of back and forth. Plus, we'll give away some tickets after the interview is over.
Absolutely, we will. And we'll be back with that surprise. Stick around. We'll all be surprised together right here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I want to talk about Connecticut quality water softeners. I love my Connecticut quality water softener. It is fantastic. Put it in the house, and everything is just better. And I tell you that all the time, but it is absolutely true. And I've told you, I was a skeptic to begin with, thinking there's no way this could be any better. And then as soon as you use it, you know that it is head and shoulders better than anything else that I've ever had. It is simply the best water softener available, made in America. And Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. And look, right now, they've got one heck of a deal for you. For a limited time, you get a free reverse osmosis drinking station. They're going to install right there at your kitchen sink. So basically what that is, instead of hauling in a bunch of water bottles each and every week from the grocery store, you don't have to do that anymore. You've got it right there at your kitchen sink. They'll also give you $400 trade-in on your old water softener. 0% interest for 12 months. Free money for 12 months. So you don't want to wait. This is a great offer. Call them before it goes away. Call Connecticut of San Antonio in the Hill Country. The numbers to call, 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can get them online at connecticutsa.com. You know the jingle. Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle's closeout season, did we say goodbye to a basketball team and a hockey team? We'll talk about the big game between the Knicks and the Pacers, news out of the NFL, and AJ's back. Oh, what a party it'll be. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke, like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the product, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-298-2007. That's 800-298-2007. 800-298-2007.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control rental and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. It's Wednesdays with Wade. San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips joins the Blitz every Wednesday for an inside look at your San Antonio Brahmas. Now, here's the Blitz with Wade Phillips.
Yeah, it's about the only thing that makes a hump day better is to be able to talk with Wade Phillips, and we get to do that right now here on the Blitz.
That's right. The San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Coach, good to see you. Good to hear from you. How's life?
Good. Yeah, I'm doing fine. Thanks.
You look good, Coach.
I don't know about that, but I feel good.
It's been such a strange season, especially for you. One more game to go. Take us through what this year has been like and what you expect Sunday, 11 a.m. in the Alamo Dome from the Brahmas.
Well, it's certainly not what we wanted, but we want to finish it off right. It's been a tough year for me. Health-wise, starting out, but I'm getting better and better. So I'm feeling good now. And changed medicines, and everything seems to be working good. So I'm going to be there at the game. I won't be coaching the game, but I'll be there supporting them.
You know, Wade, when you look at the team, and I know there were some struggles, but it seems to me, just watching the team play, these guys they never gave up despite all the adversity.
No, that's true. We got a lot of high character players that they want to do the best they can. I think they're trying to do that, but sometimes you just don't win when you think you have an opportunity, or you just keep trying, and you ask them to keep trying. That's what they're doing.
Wade Phillips joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. I saw something on one of the UFL pages the other day that the Brahmas have had more players coming and going, released more than everybody else. How difficult is that? One, with you not being with the team, but just with the kind of roster turnover for a variety of reasons throughout the season to try to create any kind of continuity?
Yeah, it's a tough thing. It's a lot of new players every year. There's a big turnover each year, so you almost have a new team each year, and then once you have that new team, and then you have to replace a lot of them, or a lot of them are changing. It causes some problems.
Wade, you got an opportunity to watch the coaching staff from afar and talk with them. I know you talk with Peyton quite a bit. Just a synopsis of how they dealt with everything in your view.
Yeah, there's the players. They've gotten the players to play hard every game, and that's the first thing you need to do is make sure that they don't quit on you, and I think they'll come out and do the same thing this last game. They'll play as hard as they can play, and I believe they'll win this last one. We get some support at home, it'd be great.
Absolutely. Sunday, 11 a.m., Arlington coming into town. We know they're generally pretty good. Luis Perez has given everybody fits in the spring football leagues going back to 2019. From a game plan standpoint, in a final game like this, and I know you're going to be there but not coaching, but what you can share with plans, is it try to get players playing time or playing to win the damn game?
We're going to play to win. It's about carryover, I think, and anything you can do positive now will help you with guys that come back next year. So it'll help with the fans and everybody else because we have lost a lot of games, but again, we played close, but close isn't quite good enough, and so we need to get over the hump this last game and then and have some carryover in the next season.
Wade, how difficult is that when you know that some of these guys won't be back next year, maybe some will? Do you have any clue or any idea what guys will be coming back and what guys won't?
Well, not really. I mean, a lot of them are going to get an opportunity, I think, either after the NFL season or maybe before the NFL season. But, we had 130 guys last year that went to training camp, so from the league. So, I expect that again this year. I think they'll pick up a lot of guys, and some of our guys are still playing to show what they can do, and see if an NFL team will pick them up. So, this game's important to all of them for that reason, if nothing else.
Well, that's it. It's tape, and it's a live game as we visit with Wade Phillips. Now, while the record hasn't been what anybody thought it would be coming in, especially after the success of last year, individually you have had some players that are playing at a high level. How many on this Brahmas roster do you think will get an opportunity to get into an NFL training camp?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any way of knowing that, but I think we've got offensive linemen that are NFL caliber, and everybody's looking for offensive linemen in the NFL. So, hopefully those guys will get a shot, but just, again, like I say, this last game is important for a lot of these guys to show what they can do and show something on tape that somebody might want to pick up.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, Wade, and I'm curious because you say you're going to play to win the game, and I know the fans appreciate that. But are there, I don't know, do you play certain guys to get them that tape more so than maybe others? Does that come into mind, or it's just the regular old game plan?
Well, I mean, you play the guys that you think are the best, no matter what, So, yeah, normally those guys, the guys that are first out there, are the guys you feel like are your best players. But any of them can come in and show something on tape that somebody can pick up because, a lot of these guys run the fast enough time to play. A lot of them are big enough and strong enough and so forth to be NFL players. So what they show on tape is really, really important.
Absolutely.
And every team, all 32 teams look at these tapes now. It's not like they skim over them. They have their scouting department looking at them and seeing if there's somebody that they might want to pick up, or somebody gets hurt on their team before the season starts. There's an opportunity there.
Campaigning might not be the right word, Coach Phillips, but how much campaigning or phone calls do you call other scouts, general managers, on behalf of a player? I'm going to use the word campaigning, but let's say Reinagel was playing really well. Do you pick up the phone and call all your buddies in the NFL and say, you really guys need to look at Reinagel?
Yeah, Minnesota first, but
yeah, obviously.
Well, Coach, how much different is it in the UFL, and we've already talked about the fact you're going to try to win this game, than it is, say, in an NFL game? Coming down to the last game of the season, and you don't have a shot at the playoffs, is there a different mindset between coaching in the UFL versus the NFL when it comes down to the final game like this?
Well, I mean, they say in the NFL, and I don't believe it, but sometimes teams don't want to win at the end because they get a higher draft choice. But in this league, I don't think that happens. So you do get a pecking order as far as picking players the next season, but you already have a lot of you can get the players you had back. They don't necessarily go to other teams to start with. Like, there's not a free agent that goes to another team that played for us last year normally. So, I think our league is pretty level that way, in that everybody's got a chance to get some good players the next season, even though we have a pretty good turnover.
Wade Phillips joining us here on the Blitz, head coach of the San Antonio Brahmas. Their season finale, 11 a.m. Sunday in the Alamo Dome against Arlington. And Coach, as we talk about, pecking order for next year, getting players, there's been some news at the UFL, getting some trademarks in other cities, but, some expansion, some movement. I don't know what you could share with us about that, but overall it sounds like the league in itself, successful year 2 after the merger, and healthy if there's talk of growth.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think that was the original plan, was, to merge the league, but then to expand it if things went well. And it looks like things are going well that way. We still like a better attendance, I think, is a key thing that helps your team certainly win home games, to have more people there. St. Louis is certainly been a factor in that, because they've been winning the last couple of years, but I think they've had the biggest crowds too, and they also get the championship games, which is a key if you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Coach Phillips, I'm going to ask this, and I hope I know the answer to it already. You're going to be back next year, right?
I expect to be. Yes, I'm feeling a lot better. Like I say, I'm able to do some things better, and certainly we're going to have a better defense next year. And we're going to be, and I've already put it out there, but we're going to be in the playoffs next year, and we hope everybody supports us.
Well, and I know coming into this year, you were just a couple of wins away from 100 career wins. I know you want to get that, so I love the fact that you're feeling better, and the plan is you're back next year. You're making all those plans and guaranteeing playoffs in San Antonio.
Love that.
Yeah, well, that's a guarantee that I'm gonna come through with.
Nice.
He promises.
Promises.
He promises.
Now, promises. There you go.
Yeah. Now. Wait.
Hey, promises made, promises kept.
There you go. Wait.
We've heard that somewhere. I don't know.
Somewhere.
Wade for president.
Yeah. Exactly. Wade Phillips joining us here on the Blitz. You say you're coming to the game on Sunday, and I'm so glad, and I'm sure everybody listening is, that you are feeling better. Not coaching. How hard is it for you to be in the stadium watching your team play and not have input?
Yeah, it's harder watching TV, I think, than watching the game, where at least you're not there. I'm there to support them and let them know I'm there to support them. When it's on TV, you're really further away, and I don't know. I want to show them that I'm with them no matter what, and so being at the game is really important for me.
Coach, it brings up a question. We were talking about players, maybe going and having a tryout in the NFL or doing something there. What about your coaching staff, and in particular Peyton Pardee? Do you think he's going to be NFL bound before too long?
Yeah, I believe so. We've got a couple of coaches on our staff that are, I know NFL teams are either bringing them to training camp or preseason, and and I expect that because we've got a lot of good coaches.
So,
our offensive line coach last year went to Colorado as their offensive line coach. So this is an opportunity for coaches, not only players, but coaches to advance, and that's a great thing for this league too. Not only for players, but for coaches, and we've got some young, really good young coaches. They don't want any old coaches like me, but they're looking out for those young guys that are coming in that are good coaches, and I think we've got several that have shown that they are. And people are starting to take notice.
So, Coach, regular season ends Sunday. What's the off season like for you? Like, for example, season ends. You're probably going to lose some coaches. You start player evaluations. At what point do you start looking at who you want on your staff or player development? Do you give it a couple of months, or is that something that essentially, a weekend off, although for you, the way this season has gone, I imagine you're ready to just get right back to work and start getting ready for next season.
Yeah, I am. It's still building back a roster, and you don't know how many of them are going to come back or how many you want to come back, certainly, off your team. So that evaluation had to take place. And Mark Littlebridge, our GM, does a great job of evaluating players and picking up players for us. So we start that as soon as the season's over, and then coaching wise, it would depend on what coaches we'd have back or which ones get another opportunity or won't be back with us. So I had almost all my coaches back last year, but that could change quickly. I already know one of our coaches on defense is going to be a defensive coordinator in college. He's already taken the college job, so I'm sure that some of those guys will get different jobs, and then I'll have to replace them.
Good deal. Coach, I know you're at the house right now. I'm just curious, when you guys go to the Hub City in Arlington, do you take that fancy recliner with you, or is that just at the home office? No, that's just the home, along with this Super Bowl trophy. They say right away. That's comfortable. That's comfortable.
I certainly wouldn't be moving that Super Bowl trophy, right?
I don't know. I mean, how I guess you see that every day when you're in the office. How much do you pick it up and just look at it and remember? It's getting heavier and heavier, but or you can reach down and give us a better pull it forward and give us a good look at that Super Bowl trophy. It's a great.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
That is a big deal. This is a first. Somebody holding their Super Bowl trophy on the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. That was pretty cool. I can see that in the background, Coach, going, hey, how do I bring that up? Let's start with the chair, because that's a great-looking chair, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wade, we will see you Sunday in the Alamo Dome for the season finale.
I'll see everybody there pulling for us. That'd be great.
Absolutely. Coach Wade Phillips of the San Antonio Brahmas on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. And we do have a 4-pack of tickets to give away for that game coming up on Sunday, 11 a.m. in the Alamo Dome.
Going to be fun.
Yeah.
Against the Arlington Renegades.
Yeah, week 10. So let's go caller number 10. You're going to win that 4-pack of tickets. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
And you heard Wade. Get out there. They'd love a big crowd out there for the final game just to give them a little support, and we'll start looking forward to next year with the San Antonio Brahmas. But get on out there Sunday. If you don't win tickets, go buy them. They can buy them.
Yeah, UFLBrahmas.com is the website where you can buy the tickets and get out there. It's going to be, and again, 11 a.m. kickoff, little early tailgating. Enjoy the game. Weather's never a factor inside the Alamo Dome. Never a factor. And Arlington, Luis Perez is a good dude, but he needs to lose to San Antonio.
He does. We were able to interview him at the Super Bowl on Radio Row last year. Very nice guy, but he's the enemy on Sunday.
He is the enemy.
After that, he's a nice guy again.
And, I think Wade said it best. Crowds, attendance matters. Now, it's a made-for-TV sport, but they do want to sell tickets, and good crowds make a difference. They help the teams. And going into year 3, there are some cities, Houston, Memphis, that might be on the chopping block, whether there's expansion or they're moving franchises. San Antonio isn't one of those. The league loves San Antonio, and I know how San Antonio works. If they were winning, there'd be a lot more people there. But I think last game there was around 10. That number needs to be close to 15 to 20.
Right.
To be honest. And there's no reason. There ain't nothing happening Sunday at 11. So get to the Dome. We always say we want. All right, you got to support.
Got to support. And I'm sure, I don't know, make some mimosas. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Sunday, little brunch kind of thing. Get out there and have some fun. And it would be a good time. Yeah. Speaking of good times, Steve Sarkisian and his athletic director are disputing a story that came out, I don't know, a couple weeks ago about what the Texas Longhorns have to spend during recruiting. I wonder how true that story is, or is it not true at all? We're talking about it when we come back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys, there's a website you need to know about. It's fixmylowt.com because it is summertime, and you think about all the activities that you do in the summer, from lakes, rivers, beaches, vacations, whatever. You don't want low testosterone draining your energy. Now is a perfect time to go start a TRT plan with Synergenics and Low T Center. They have been the experts for over 25 years combined. Synergenics and Low T Center has been changing patients' lives for the better. They understand what guys need. They're in person, and it's easy to get started with the quality care you deserve. And right now, no better time to start TRT because the T-test is free, the consultation is free, and it's fast. They have an on-site lab to process your test quickly, and if you qualify, you can start treatment that exact same day. Now, I know you've seen those online TRT services. They honestly can be a hassle. Spend hundreds of dollars waiting on unreliable test kits. Then you got to wait for your lab results, and that's before you begin treatment. They even say you meet with the doctor. Sometimes it's not even an actual person on screen. Not really the quality of health care you deserve. With Synergenics and Low T Center, you have that white glove in-center care, or you can get medically monitored custom dose TRT at home from convenient locations all across San Antonio. Synergenics and Low T Center's healthcare professionals are ready to help you get started right away. And if you're just looking to lose a few pounds, they make it easy with prescription weight loss medication. You'll even receive a free B12 shot the same day. Most major insurance is accepted, so you have no excuse. Go to the website, fixmylowt.com, to book that initial appointment. Fixmylowt.com.
Riding 281 with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6. KTFM, Floresville. And everywhere at sasportstar.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare professional. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds, through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
The Gomez Law Firm has been San Antonio's trusted law firm for 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us today. Jose, tell us about the cases you all specialize in.
We do ride-sharing cases, we do 18-wheeler cases, work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you or your family have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, you need to visit joegomezlaw.com. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-499-9102. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-499-9102. That's 800-499-9102. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Here in San Antonio in the Hill Country, our water is hard. It's harsh like some accents.
Hey, what's the matter with you?
Now that's harsh. At the same time, those that know have a Connecticut quality water softener and enjoy smooth, soft, pure, clean water like this.
Tú eres mi luz en la oscuridad.
Hard, harsh water.
Hey, use with the face.
Soft water.
El amor es como el agua que nunca se seca.
If you don't have a Connecticut water softener, you're basically inviting hard water into your home to beat up your appliances, hot water heater, and every pipe in your home. And if you can't live without your coffee maker, hard water damages it too. Call me for a free in-home water evaluation at 656-PURE.
For a limited time, get a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Connecticut of San Antonio in the Hill Country, 210-656-PURE.
Connecticut is simply the best water softener you can buy, and that's why we say it's the last water softener you'll ever own.
License number 38961.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Now the Astros in action this afternoon, and they come out victorious. They beat the A's 5-3. We got an NBA playoff game tonight. It is Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. Timberwolves face a must-win game in Oklahoma City. They trailed the Thunder 3-1. Tip-off there set for 7:30. You can listen to it right here on San Antonio Sports Star beginning at 7. And the Spurs announced today they're part of a 4-team field in the California Classic Summer League.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
What day is it?
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Hump day.
Yeah. Happy Hump Day, everybody. Hope you're having a great hump day. And I tell you what, if you're getting off at 5 o'clock, congrats.
Mm-hmm.
You're over the hump. The weekend is in sight, and all is right with the world.
Yeah, not everybody's having a good Wednesday.
No?
No, I just saw this on TMZ. There is a 46-year-old woman from Maryland who's having a rough day. Her name is Christy Crampton.
Christy Crampton.
Yeah. Crampton beat up a kid on a flight after the kid called her Miss Piggy.
Is that against the law?
Beating up a kid or
Beating
getting
up
called
kids?
Miss
No, you can call somebody Miss Piggy, but...
turned physical when the kid called her fat and Miss Piggy.
Just say, how old is this kid?
I'm trying to find this in the TMZ article. It just says child. Crampton was arrested and charged with domestic cruelty toward a child, abuse causing no great bodily harm. And she's on her way to Orlando. So,
well, the kid might have been on his way to Orlando, too, to go to Disneyland. But, I mean, the kid deserved a spanking. He had to spank him on his hiney.
Uh-huh.
So if she did that, I think it's fine.
All it says is she beat up a kid who hit her with a very juvenile Muppets-related burn.
Miss Piggy. Dude, what was this kid's parents?
Who knows? I mean, they are going to Disney, the happiest place on earth.
I get it, but, you're not going to Muppetville.
Yeah, the problem is TMZ, they got this woman's mugshot and a picture of Miss Piggy.
Do they look alike?
You be the judge. Mugshot?
Uh-huh.
Miss Piggy.
There's a resemblance. Yeah, I mean, there is a resemblance there for sure, but this kid, I kind of take her side on it. Now, I'm not advocating you beat the kid, but I mean, a little swat on the butt a couple of times was appropriate, I think. Goodness gracious.
She allegedly hit and slammed the child's head into a window.
Oh!
She told cops tension had been building because the kid had been disrespectful during their trip to Disney World, and the fat jokes were the last straw. She claims the child started shoving her arm off the armrest when she took a phone from him, and that's when the alleged violence erupted.
Well, this kid, the parents had to be sitting right there. So, look, control your kid.
I'm trying to figure out, right? Now, I've been on enough flights. If the kid's head got slammed in the window, kid had window seat. This means the lady who got called Miss Piggy might have had middle seat.
That could be, yeah.
And, well, I mean, if the kid was shoving her arm off the armrest, but middle seat, they kind of get the armrest, don't they?
No.
I mean, kind of.
No.
But she took the phone. Why would she take the kid's phone?
Well, she was obviously upset. I mean, if you be called Miss Piggy and then you're shoving the arm off.
I think she took the phone and then she got called Miss Piggy.
Wow. I don't know. This kid seems like he was out of control.
Well, it's certainly undisciplined. And, yeah, where are the parents? Although, if there's 3 to a row and say it's a family of 4 going to Disney, all right, you get the row by yourself. I'm either on that one over there. But then again,
I would have loved to have seen this.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I would have. I'd love to have seen it.
You would not have wanted to see this.
As long as it's not any part of my family, I think it would have been funny.
No. No.
What's the matter with that kid?
No.
Well, let's go from Miss Piggy beating up a kid to something that is much more appetizing.
Something you really would rather see.
Yes. There's a story that we're looking at on Barstool today.
Now, let me preface this.
All right, you go ahead. Yeah.
Joe Reinagle's not a fan of crawfish boils.
Not at all.
Until now.
Well, no, not really. I know how to eat one now, thanks to this particular person.
You studied hard today.
I did. I did.
How to take the poo vein out of crawfish. See it? It's like this dark strip, and it's in there, and you eat it. That's it.
Libby Dunn with an instructional video on how to eat crawfish.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this particular instructional video, you might want to take a look, especially if you don't know how to eat crawfish. I mean, it's
even if you do know how to eat crawfish.
Yeah, you go take a look at that. It's very educational, by the way. Yes. Very educational.
Are we going to have a Libby Dunn slurp now as a drop?
Just wish we didn't have the elevator music with it.
Yeah, well, no kidding. But, Libby Dunn must have a lot of time on her hands because
she's retired from gymnastics.
Well, it's true. And I heard she's like worth $4 million, or she made that.
Is that all?
At LSU. And that's just a number I had. She's probably doing better because she does all this Instagram, TikTok stuff. But this one, what is it?
How many views on that video you're watching?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And how many are attributed to you?
Well, there's 112,000 likes.
Okay.
So there and almost 3,000 comments. And I haven't looked at the comments.
Can only imagine.
I can only imagine what the comments are. But it was very educational.
What'd you learn?
Well, I learned how to suck a crawfish out of its shell. But
you gonna go home and practice?
No. I don't like crawfish. I'm not a crawfish guy. But I mean, Livy going to school at LSU, you kind of have to learn to like that, I would think, if you're living there. But
if Libby Dunn walked in this studio and with crawfish, would you partake?
What?
Yes, you would.
Yeah, maybe. Are we still talking about eating crawfish?
No.
Oh. It's very educated. But how do you? What? Does she just wake up and think of things to do on TikTok? Like, okay, today we'll suck crawfish out of the shell. I mean, it's a very educational video if you would like to go watch it. And, of course, that's what we do here on 94.1.
Tomorrow we find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop.
Maybe so. Boy, I hope so. Can we suggest that in the comments?
I think you probably could. Send her a DM for a small fee.
I'm wondering. Now, I'm trying to keep my composure. I mean, she's like, what, 22?
Oh, you got to give him that huck to and spit on that thing.
There are a lot of interesting comments.
You want to read some? You should read the comments on our YouTube page right now on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel.
I'm sure.
I mean, all of a sudden, Sydney gets a reference from Circa Las Vegas.
Sydney?
Yes. Think she eats crawfish?
Well, I don't. She probably could, but I don't know if she does. It's funny because we saw this video before the show.
You've been watching it for 3 hours.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it's. Some people are just good at everything. Gymnastics, sucking crawfish. Some people just are multi-talented. I'm telling you. Very educational. We still got 45 minutes to go.
All I know is you're not walking down the hall to go to the bathroom during this break.
No, I'm not. So to help with that, we'll talk about Steve Sarkisian. He's denying something today about a report about the Texas Longhorns. Not only is he denying it, Chris Del Conte is denying it as well. We're going to hear from Sark when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We do have a closeout game tonight in the NBA playoffs, WNBA action, baseball. You want to add more excitement to watching these games? Play on Underdog, one of the best sports apps out there to make your sports picks. Over 100,000 five-star reviews. Test your knowledge, your skill. All you have to do is download the Underdog app and choose whether you think a player is going to go higher or lower than their predicted stats. Points, rebounds, assists, you name it. You can create your own entry, your own experience, and what's great is you can play for as little as $1. Get all your picks correct, you could win up to 1,000 times your money. Very few places you can turn $1 into 1,000 with your hoops knowledge. So download the Underdog app. Use promo code STAR when you sign up to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, use my promo code STAR when you get signed up at Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
The Morning Huddle.
I went through it, and they told me no one time.
They would never tell me no.
Oh, they will. Trust me.
Are you crazy? You think I'm an unfit cat parent?
You just had one die on you.
You son of a bitch.
The two cats you've had,
How
one of them's
dare
dead.
you?
You're batting 500.
How dare you?
Just saying.
You want to bring up the time that a coyote ran off with your puppy?
That's been years ago.
But did it happen?
That was a puppy. I didn't say puppy. I'm just talking cat right here.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
I gotta get business cards printed for my entire staff, but where do I even?
That was easy.
Oh, okay, Staples. But can I have bigger stuff printed too, like huge signs and banners?
That was easy.
Nice. And what if I had to ship a package?
That was easy.
Have my passport photo taken?
That was easy.
Coffee and snacks?
That was easy.
What about the latest laptops?
That was
Earbuds
easy.
and headphones?
That was
Office
easy.
chairs?
That was easy.
I think I also need to get some Staples.
Seriously?
I had to ask.
For everything your business needs to get the job done.
Staples. That was easy.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist, with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
April Ansira here from the Ansira Auto Group. Every year, the Texas Yes Project provides thousands of students across the state with free school supplies. And now you can help by entering the Drive Away for Education raffle, proudly sponsored by the Ansira Auto Group. One lucky winner will drive away in a brand new car, truck, or SUV. And countless young Texans will move forward with stronger futures. And we'll be giving away a gas card and shopping spree, plus other weekly prizes. Buy your raffle ticket today at texasyesproject.org.
Little Led Zeppelin. Good music. Good music, Pledge. You're playing the hits today, brother. This is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is here as well, as is James Pledger. And if you want to go see Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin evening, and as a matter of fact, the Aztec Theater on August the 3rd, you can do that. In fact, we're going to give away a pair of tickets right now to do that to caller number 10. Caller number 10 is 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You're going to get a pair of tickets to go see Jason Bonham's Led Zeppelin evening, August 3rd at the Aztec Theater. If you don't win the tickets, you can buy them at livenation.com. And I always love doing that, Minix, because you give me a little education that Jason Bonham is the son of the original drummer of Led Zeppelin.
You know, it's one of those tribute bands that actually has blood relations, and he actually did play some shows with Led Zeppelin. And so he's doing his thing. You know, it's interesting. Considered the best Zeppelin tribute band out there, which, you know,
it makes sense.
There's some blood there, but He also played in Zeppelin. So that should be very cool on August 3rd. Again, tickets on sale, livenation.com if you don't win them. You know, there was there's been a lot of reports. Everybody, us included, have talked about the Texas Longhorns' $40 million roster.
Yes.
Now, we have no idea how accurate any numbers are when you hear all these college athletes, whether you're talking about an Arch Manning, a Cam Ward, you name it, Cooper Flagg. We have no idea how much money these guys are truly making. It's not like pro sports where their contracts ultimately get posted and we all see it. But nobody on the 40 acres refuted the $40 million roster until maybe now. Sark yesterday, talking with their friend Peter Burns on Sirius XM radio at the SEC meetings, said, yeah, $40 million, not true.
What was frustrating on that was it was a little bit of irresponsible reporting, right? It was one anonymous source said that that's what our roster was. I wish I had $40 million on our roster. We'd probably be a little bit better team than we are. But you know, the idea to think that a lot of other schools aren't spending money to get players. I mean, it's the state of college football right now. It is what it is. And hey, we're fortunate. Don't get me wrong. We've got great support. Christo Connie, our athletic director, does a fantastic job and on our donors. And hey, people are excited. And we've been to the CFP 2 years in a row. And we've had, 20-something guys drafted the last 2 years. So it's been great. It's been a great run. I wish I had about another $15 million or so, though. I might have a little better roster, but so get two or three fullbacks for $15 million. What's crazy about this day and age that you guys operate in, and I've watched this for 25 years now. This whole the evolution of Twitter and social media and podcast. One guy writes an article from an anonymous source that says that's what our roster is. Mm-hmm. Everybody ran with it, and I'm talking real publications ran with it, and it was like that's what's going on at Texas. Nobody asked me one question. Like, okay, sure, but if that's what you think, that's fine. If that's the narrative you want to paint for our team, that's fine. Whatever.
So you think if somebody calls, say our good buddy Bob Ballou called Sark and said, and would he get through to him? First of all, second of all, hey, Coach. There's the report out that says you're spending $40 million on this year's roster. You think he'd answer?
No. Sark, anybody could have just quote tweeted that with the poop emoji if they wanted to. Now, granted, to their advantage, people think they're spending that kind of money. But, man, that's a crazy expectation. But if somebody, say, in Columbus or Ann Arbor or College Station thinks that they're now competing against a $40 million roster, do they have to up theirs? So I understand why they want to keep that private. Everybody does. Jeff Traylor doesn't really want anybody to know how much money is actually being spent on the UTSA roster. But if you're going to call out the reporting, you could have done that in a lot of different ways. Now, he alluded to if he had $15 million more. He didn't allude to. He actually said that. Yeah. So is it really closer to $25 million? I hope the follow-up question was, well, Coach, how much? But he wouldn't have answered it.
Well, I just wonder too, Minix, if you now go and write a story about that and say, well, instead of 40, Coach Sark said they've got 25 million. Would he get mad at that? Because it's basically what he said, right?
Well, we would call that irresponsible journalism.
Well, he would, but I don't think it would be irresponsible journalism. He said if I had $15 million more, then I'd have a better team. Now, the assumption there would be, okay, I don't have 40, but I got 25.
Although maybe if he was saying I got 40, but if I had 55, could you imagine what I could do? Right? I mean, yeah. But again, there is no transparency. We have no idea. But for Sark, and we know how it all works now. I mean, you're right. One article gets written and all the aggregates pick it up and it goes. And, you know, like I said, real publications, I mean, sure. But that's the world that we live in now. But, Sark, you have the ability to call BS on that immediately. Now, if there was a story written that they didn't want out there that was blatantly untrue, you don't think that the PR department over at UT or Sark wouldn't have gone on the phone with somebody to try to correct it? Of course they would.
Because that story's been out at least a couple of weeks, right? Yeah, at least that. And there's been crickets from Chris Del Conte and Steve Sarkisian. And Pledge tells us that, and I haven't seen it, but I trust Pledge. He said that CDC came out and said that was false as well.
I mean, they're going to stick together. And maybe they don't want people to know that there's that much money available, because it does feel like, eventually they're going to have some sort of salary cap. Now, one of the stories has been $40 million on the roster this year. We know that's going to change when the court ruling finally comes down, when they have to do the revenue share. Does the SEC put some sort of salary cap on for their programs? But to say it's crazy, that's bananas, is the quote from Chris Del Conte, and talking about $40 million. You could have come out weeks ago and squashed this. You let it run. True or not true, you guys let this run by not trying to correct somebody.
Well, that's absolutely correct. And again, this story's been out for a long time, and now you're just now coming out and saying this when you're on a national radio show. Look, does $40 million, would it surprise you if that was true?
No.
No, of course not. It's the University of Texas. It wouldn't surprise me if Texas A&M had $40 million, or Alabama or Georgia or Ohio State. All of them can get that kind of money because they have those kind of donors. The problem is that, just think about that. The money is just getting completely out of control, and it's not going to go the other way. It's going to keep going up. So $40 million this year, and if they get the revenue share, okay, it's still going to be some under-the-table stuff. Look, college football drives the boat.
Yep.
It does. It drives the boat for every university, especially the big ones, and that's just the way it is. I am shocked that there hasn't been a ruling made on the revenue share yet. That hearing was back in April, and we are still sitting here just about into June, and no ruling yet on the revenue share.
Which, again, you look at some of these college coaches, and the SEC coaches are down in Florida for their meetings right now, and they've all made agreements, contracts with these players in preparation for July 1st when the ruling, if it gets made, is going to go in place. So it kind of feels like whether the judge rules one way or the other, because then you know there's going to be a bunch of lawsuits against whatever she rules. But in reality, these schools all seem to be planning for using that kind of money. And Mike Elko said, you know, it's kind of weird that you're about to start your season and the financial aspect of everything could change when that ruling happens.
Yeah, I think obviously you've kind of worked through a whole bunch of different scenarios and situations, and you know, again, it's challenging because you know these rules are supposedly going to be implemented if the House settlement goes through fairly quickly, and the season is also approaching fairly quickly, and so yeah, I couldn't imagine a professional sports league going into their off season, midway through their off season, changing the salary cap rules. But it appears as though that's what we're going to try to do. And so, we'll kind of see how it works out.
It's amazing to me. And you got these college coaches, whatever you think of them, and I know there's people that don't really give a damn, but it's like it's got to be really difficult. It's got to be really difficult with the rules changing. I know there was one proposal from the SEC meetings from Greg Sankey that there's only one transfer portal is going to happen in January. And then they're talking about the college football playoff schedule and how many teams. And when they go to 16, how is that going to work? And it's a mess right now. It's a complete mess.
Yet they're still talking about trying to find guardrails, which is something that Steve Sarkisian talked about on the Blitz a couple years ago when he was coming in town to talk to the San Antonio Quarterback Club. And that was the first time I'd heard anybody use the term guardrails. Chris Del Conte today uses the term guardrails on the Paul Feinbaum Show.
In today's landscape of NIL, the House case, all those things, we could, in my chair, could have a thoughtful conversation, but they're on the firing lines of what's actually taking place. And I think today, to hear from them and what is taking place in the industry, they may talk to me, but now they're with each other, and they're really sharing what is going on and why we need guardrails. And Steve Sarkisian is an incredible mind. But you got Kirby Smart. You got the SEC has incredible coaches on and off the field, and that meeting today. Hopefully, I can't wait to hear what they digest tomorrow. But something that every time comes out there just kind of surprises me that we haven't thought of because we're not a practitioner in that particular space. You're running an entire enterprise, and what they're dealing with right now is localized to them.
It's just interesting. And guardrails again, as you mentioned, Sark said that 2 years ago, and there's still no guardrails, nothing. And again, when this ruling comes out, there's probably going to be about 20 lawsuits against it. So who knows what kind of mess that's going to throw things into. I hate to admit it, and I hate to think that this is the only way. But it's going to take those guys up in Washington, D.C. to come up with something. And I wish they would put that board back together that Nick Saban was going to run and get something done, that we can get the guardrails, we can get whatever it comes to, collective bargaining, unions, salary caps, I don't know what, but something's got to happen.
The reality, there is no perfect answer. So can we at least come up with an imperfect plan, put that in place, and then tweak it as it needs to be tweaked? But trying to come up with the perfect plan that everybody is going to agree on ain't happening. It's not happening anytime soon. You put a bunch of these smart guys in a room, and when I say a bunch, limit the number there, because you get 20 people in there, you're not going to come up with something, but 5 or 6 or 7 could probably come up with a pretty decent plan represented from everybody. And, yeah, it won't be a perfect plan, but it's better than just, all right, well, let's keep going with the way we're doing and see what happens. And, something Jeff Traylor said, I don't know, a year, maybe more ago, don't get mad at the kids. Get mad at the adults in the room that let this happen. And the adults in the room still haven't figured out a way to fix it. And if I'm an athlete right now or a parent of an athlete, reap all the rewards you can, because it can't continue the way it is, because eventually the money, the donors are going to say, I'm done. I'm done writing these checks.
Yeah, and especially if you're not winning. And the athletes, to your point, are not going to stop asking for more and more and more. They're going to. And, if you're a five-star quarterback that everybody is, slobbering over, then you're going to be able to ask for 10, 15, 20 million. Who knows? I mean, seriously. And somebody will probably come up with that. And it's going to get to the point of just complete ridiculousness, and it's already pretty much there.
And we're focused on football. Sark is focused on football. Trev Alberts, the A&M AD, he talked about funding for all of A&M athletics.
Our objective and goal is every single one of our programs. Obviously, we start with football. It's the only revenue generator that we have at Texas A&M.
Wow.
But we are sitting down and looking at every single one of our programs and saying, today, A, we're going to keep all of our programs. B, we're going to create a financial strategy that every one of our programs can win at the highest level through resources. And that doesn't guarantee you're going to win, right? But we're going to fund them in a way that they can be successful.
What surprises me on that, two things. One, at Texas A&M, football is still the only revenue-generating sport. Basketball, not there. Baseball is, well, this year wasn't good. But I mean, wow. But two, at least at A&M, they're committing to keeping all of their sports. How many programs out there, especially smaller programs that don't have the deep pockets, are looking at just to be able to do this revenue share, not just with football, but with all their sports because they have to? How many are going to start eliminating expensive sports that do not generate revenue?
Absolutely. I think some universities have already done that to some extent. We just don't hear about it as much. While all of this is going on, Jason, I just got a story from Sports Illustrated. The Big 12 wants to expand the basketball tournament. What do we have? 68 teams now with the first four. They want to add more to that, and they're not saying how many more, but they want to get more of their schools into the big dance.
They can't get into the football one, but they want to be the basketball conference.
Well, they do, and I find this interesting because I'll be honest with you, I hate the format now. That first four nonsense is ridiculous. Now, I know they have the 11 seeds. I get it, maybe, but I mean, you're playing a game. I guess you can say you won a tournament game, perhaps with an asterisk, but then you're going to get your butt whipped as soon as you get in the tournament. I wish they'd leave the NCAA tournament alone. I really do. Here's a number: 72 or 76 team format is what has been talked about. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but again, that's just going to water down what is already a great sporting event. And I wish they wouldn't do it. I wish they'd leave it alone. Don't touch it. Get off my lawn. Absolutely, Pledge. Well, I mean,
were you mad when they went to 64?
No.
Do you remember when they went?
I really don't remember. When did they go to 64?
I don't know. It's I don't know.
I love 64, but I really don't like the 68. I don't like those the play-in games, if you will. But I guess that's a trend in every basketball world because the NBA does it.
Mm-hmm.
But
more games, more money.
I suppose, and I guess that's what they're talking about.
It was 1985.
Is that right?
I was going to say, I think it's been, 64 most of my life, if not all of my life. But, yeah, I was.
Well, you weren't paying attention before 85.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And that's probably true.
A lot of this is a lot sooner than I would have realized. 16 teams up until 51, then it doubled to 32 in 75, and then it's 64 in 85.
Which seems like a perfect amount to me. Now, I don't know, maybe they go to 72 or 74 or 76 and that turns out to be great, but it just seems to me there's going to be a lot of those schools that aren't going to be able to compete with the cream of the crop. And you're going to get games that just aren't there. Because, look, this year was kind of weird, wasn't it? There were no Cinderellas this year.
No.
To speak of.
No, kind of went chalk.
It did. So, just kind of weird. Well, did the NBA playoffs go chalk? No, I would say, unless you're an Oklahoma City fan. And they could punch their ticket to the NBA Finals tonight with a win over the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're talking about that. SGA. And who do the Spurs want? Can we get on with this thing? Maybe we'll get into that as well. Who knows? Because I got about 20 minutes to rant, and I want to do it. Pledge. When we continue here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hump Day!
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Thursday on the Morning Huddle's closeout season, did we say goodbye to a basketball team and a hockey team? We'll talk about the big game between the Knicks and the Pacers, news out of the NFL, and AJ's back. Oh, what a party it'll be. Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and have been representing people injured in auto and commercial truck collisions right here in San Antonio, my hometown, since 1994. Getting into a collision can be a life-altering event. Your health and recovery is the only thing that really matters, and anyone that's ever been injured in a traffic collision will tell you that. How do you get the insurance company to pay? Simple. Call me. As your attorney, my job is to get you through this. The decisions you make immediately after a collision are the most important decisions you can make. If you call me as soon as you can after a collision, I will help you make the right decisions for you and your family. Remember, I do not charge for a consultation. Growing up on the southwest side of San Antonio, when Loop 410 was the edge of town, I know how overwhelming it could be to face a giant insurance company all on your own. Just keep it simple. Call me. My number is 210-900-0400. That's 900-0400. Or go to my website at lawyerforus.com.
Progressive knows when you're on your boat, you're already on vacation. And Vacation You forgets all your worries. Vacation You doesn't even keep track of time and knows that time is a meaningless construct designed to control us, man. But Regular You knows you don't want to be too far out in the water after the sun goes down because Vacation You doesn't know how to navigate in the dark yet. Vacation You and Regular You really need to get on the same page. So bundle your boat with your home or auto policy and earn an automatic discount from Progressive. And spend the savings on the both of you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
John, what do you think about these tariffs? What do you think is going to happen? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The prices on used cars have suddenly come up because the cost has gone up. And at GiveMeTheVin.com, we're paying more. Go to GiveMeTheVin.com, put in your license plate, and see for yourself. We're paying more today than we were yesterday. Remember, the tariffs have raised the car prices, and we are paying extra. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer. Sell us your car.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive so you can stop worrying about them and invent new things to worry about, like snakes in your bedroom. Sure, that sounds incredibly irrational, but now that we've mentioned it, you are a little worried. The odds of one snake, let alone snakes plural, are so slim. But you might want to check. Oh, you're not near your bedroom. Guess you'll just have to sit there and worry about it. So let Progressive protect your home and auto, because you've got enough to worry about. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Transform your water with Connecticut. For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station, $400 off with a trade-in, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Don't wait. The offer ends soon. Call Connecticut today.
I'm going to need some help, Minix, with this NBA game tonight. Tell you what, Oklahoma City's an 8-point favorite to win this game tonight over Minnesota. Hi, everybody. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Joe Reinagle, Jason Minix. What do you think? 8 points, too many?
No. I think Oklahoma City, once they start to be putting this thing away, Minnesota just starts getting on their phone and looking at resorts in Mexico.
I have a feeling they might be doing that already. What I want to see is Anthony Edwards. I like the guy. I love watching him play. But I don't know, tell me if I'm wrong. It just seems like sometimes it's like, okay, we lost. No big deal. I mean, man, I'm not saying he feels that way, but it sometimes it sounds that way.
Perception being reality. And the other night, he doesn't feel like he didn't take enough shots, 13. He's got to be aggressive. Now, I think you will see a very competitive first half of basketball. Third quarters, Oklahoma City in those third quarters have been dominant. And if Oklahoma City starts building that lead, I don't know that Minnesota is going to reach deep down and figure out a comeback. I looked at that 8.5 is what it was earlier, so it's come down a little bit. It really is one of those lines where I don't know that I would stay away from it because I think it could easily end up being a blowout. We've had one good game in this series, just one.
That's true.
And that every other game has been a blowout.
And that was the last one. But, Jason, you know me. I'm not going to stay away from it.
Oh, I know.
So you're not going to give me any help here? I'm just.
I just told you the help. Now, if you were to tell me your help, I would say go the opposite because we know your track record.
Well, I'm kind of with you on this. If Oklahoma City gets on a roll, I have a feeling Minnesota's going to fold. And they're just going to say, the hell with it. We're gone. We're done. We'll get ready for next year. But it all depends on Anthony Edwards. And I really want to see this young man do well. I mean, I do. I like the guy. I want to see him do well. There's no way they win this series, whether they win tonight or not. I just don't think there's any way they can beat him 3 in a row. But I would like to see him play well. So having said that, since I'm going to be hoping for a good Anthony Edwards game tonight, do I just take the 8 points and hope for the best?
Let me ask you this. I just pulled up Underdog.
Uh-huh.
They have Anthony Edwards at 27.5.
Ooh.
Would you go higher or lower?
I'd have to go lower.
I mean, in this series, he's gone 18, 32, 30, and 16.
Well, I think Oklahoma City has played him perfectly defensively. They're getting physical with him. They're bumping him. They're double-teaming him, and they're forcing him to get the ball out of his hands. They've done a great job. Now, what adjustments, if any, has Minnesota made to try and rectify that? I think what you're going to see, though, is Anthony Edwards take a bunch of shots. Just because he didn't take a bunch in the last game, I think he will, and I think he'll force some stuff tonight. And who knows?
And quite frankly, he's gonna have to. And when you look at, was it game one of this series, he had, 18 points? And bounced back the next game with 32 because they took him away. And what we talked about, dude, you're the best player on that team. You've got to force the issue. You look at SGA, force the issue. He got to the line.
He did.
SGA has not had a great shooting percentage in this series, but he scored a boatload of points because he works and gets to the free throw line. And it's weird because some people, what do you do? That's part of the game. That's always been a part of the game. Get aggressive, go to the line. And I haven't seen the officials yet tonight because there's always going to be somebody that's going to bring that up. Who's officiating? Is Scott Foster in the building? Do they need this series to go long? But in reality, I look at this and Oklahoma City a chance to close out in their building and punch their ticket to the NBA Finals. I can't imagine that those guys don't come out and just dominate. And again, and I say dominate, third quarters have been the deciding quarter in 3 of the 4 games in this series. And if Oklahoma City does what they did in game 1 and 2 in the third quarter, Minnesota is not going to be competitive. And again, I'm looking at, SGA underdog at 33.5. I'm almost thinking go under on that one because I don't know if that dude is going to play a lot in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, that could very well be true. The other thing that is a factor tonight, and I think it will be a huge factor, that arena is going to be absolutely nuts.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be absolutely nuts. You've been there. I've been there. And that place, I got to give it to their fans. They are loud, and they will be loud the entire game. Plus, they'll put on their T-shirts.
They will.
In Oklahoma City. So it will be a raucous crowd. I don't think there's any question about that. And, again, it's again, I can see a scenario where Oklahoma City wins this thing by 20, and I can see a scenario where they win it by 6. So I've got till 7 o'clock to figure that out.
Pledge, I have no idea what's on the screen there. It's all blacked out.
It is.
What are you trying to show us?
The refs for tonight.
Who are they?
I don't have my binocular, sir. Can you just tell me?
I enhanced it to 200. Crew chiefs James Caspers, referee Mark Davis, umpire Ben Taylor, alternate Ed Malloy, replay center John Globe, no Scott Foster.
Yeah, see, Oklahoma City's going to win tonight.
They're going to take it, huh?
Look, it's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It used to be back in, what was it, Crawford?
Uh-huh.
That we used to hate. When
Joey Crawford?
Yeah. Hated to see him.
Kicked Timmy out for laughing on the bench.
Dude, that guy.
And that Javi guy?
Steve Javi.
Yeah.
Well, he's still like a head of officiating now or something like that.
He's on TV.
Anyway, I had beers with Joey Crawford one night after a game.
Did he kick you out?
No, he was very nice.
I'm sure all those guys are nice. But Crawford, when that dude threw out Tim Duncan for laughing on the bench, F that guy forever, man. Dude, that was ridiculous. And that is one thing that I do appreciate with most of today's refs. There are some that we know. But the days of a Dick Bavetta and people aren't buying money or tuning in to watch them ref.
No, they're not.
And the refs now don't seem to make it about them. Now, I wish they had called the game the same in the first quarter as in the fourth quarter, but I'm glad I don't know all these guys' names or recognize them all immediately like we did back in the day.
I'm pretty happy about that, too, and that means they're doing their job. SGA is going to get to the line. You know that. Is that going to frustrate Minnesota? Can Anthony Edwards get to the line the same? Because I think he's going to be aggressive, at least early on. And so I look for a pretty good game. I do, or at least early on, but I see the scenario. Second half, it could get ugly for Minnesota. And I think Oklahoma City wins this thing and they get ready. And I think Indiana will probably wrap theirs up too. It doesn't matter. Gives both teams a little bit of rest because the finals don't begin till June 5th.
June 5th.
June 5th.
That's just next Thursday.
Yeah, so that's not that long.
It feels like it's forever, though, doesn't it?
It's going to be a great series, I think. Indiana and Oklahoma City. I think it's going to be a great series. Looking forward to that for sure. But probably going to take Oklahoma City minus the 8 points. I'll let you know. Well, you'll know how it goes. Is there any hockey on tonight, Minix?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you give a damn?
No.
Not really?
No, it's basketball night.
Your beloved Dallas Stars are on the verge.
They are on the verge. They are on the verge. They played a great game last night and still lost. They played a great first period and were down 1-0 at the end of one.
Wow. But they face a must-win at home, don't they?
Literally a must-win.
The true version of that.
Literally a must-win.
Well, I'm really shocked that you're not watching hockey. So
it'll be on that second TV.
So basically, Florida's going to win it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll be watching basketball. You let me know how that hockey goes, will you?
You can watch a little hockey.
No, I probably won't tonight. Probably won't watch any hockey. Be watching the OKCs.
Mm-hmm.
And them Timberwolves. Interesting day tomorrow when we get back. The Cowboys back at OTAs. This is their second one, and it's the second voluntary one. Not sure if they have another one. I know the mandatory one is mid-June, roughly.
June 10th?
Thereabouts.
Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
They've got 29th, so tomorrow, and then June 3rd for an OTA.
All right.
And then mini camps start June 10th.
Okay, June 10th. So that's the mandatory one. It'll be interesting to see if a Micah Parsons shows up for that. That'll be interesting to see.
The answer to that is no without a new deal.
Probably not. Wow. That'll be interesting. Does he get fined for that?
Maybe. We got a spank pledge. You're gonna turn this car around.
No, I'm taking that thing with me. It's walking out the door with me. And I'm telling everybody, Rob, AJ, I don't care who's listening, that stuffed cat is coming with me.
Dumpster.
I'm going to leave it on the side of the road.
Just put it on the back porch where the cat used to live.
We'll fool the coyote. That's a great idea, Jim. That's a great idea. I like that idea. Yeah, that thing's going.
It's a great idea, Jim.
It's going to haunt me because Pledge has been torturing me all day with that damn cat. It's been awful. Why do you pull wings off butterflies too, Pledge? I mean,
They deserve it.
You got a show tonight for a little bit, don't you?
Full hour.
Oh, you got a full hour tonight.
Yeah.
Wow, an hour of extra innings with James Pledger. That's coming up here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You ready to get out of here?
Yeah.
I'm ready to get out of here. It's about time, isn't it?
You're making us work late.
I don't want to make you work late. So I'll say good night, everybody. Have a great Wednesday night.
You're riding with a Blitz.